I just started a new vanilla Minecraft survival series on the Hermitcraft server, and this is my starter base. I've built 2 wind turbines, which are, in theory, powering my little house over here. I also have a flock of animated geese, which I'm incredibly proud of, but that's besides the point. I personally think these wind turbines look absolutely adorable, but I can't get out of my head the fact that they kind of look like fans. And it turns out there's a reason for this. Time to head into a creative mode testing world. I was reading through the comments of the previous episode, and a few sciencey people were mentioning that the wind wouldn't pass through this, obviously, because it's solid, so thus the turbine wouldn't actually turn all that much. Like, for the blades to be moving at this speed with a design this inefficient, it would be chaos. I'm going to be honest, these comments kept me up at night. I was trying my best to think of solutions to this. Obviously, with a traditional windmill, the sails would extend way past the structure and spin around like that, but I'm just powering trapdoors. That isn't really possible for me, but I probably can make something hollow. So let's give this a whirl. If I just create one of these, something like this, then send observer signals out like this, have them power blocks like this, and then place trapdoors on the faces of all of those blocks, and trapdoors on the inside of all of the blocks, and on the outside of all of the blocks. Then I think to keep this slim, I can probably use shelves on the corners. We should be in business. Now all I need to do is power this to turn it off, and then power it to turn it on, turn down my master volume, and immediately, what the heck? That is so much better. That immediately looks like that actually is a functional thing, and it's moving slightly slower. Oh my goodness, seeing these two together, that is endlessly better. That actually looks like it's being propelled by the wind. My goodness. Oh, that's such a simple, tiny change as well. Like, if I just chuck that on this. Oh. But I think we can go bigger. So now let's create a 7x7 area of observers going around like this. I'm using the exact same method as before. I've got all the trapdoors on the outside, now for all the trapdoors on the inside, and then all of the trapdoors on the outside. Then we have the shelves, and that should send a blade around. Now I'm thinking, for the center, how bad does it look if I just leave it static? It's not a good start, to be honest with you. It's not looking good, but I wonder if when we get 2 blades in, it will start to look okay. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, it's not dreadful, but definitely, yeah, we need some animated trapdoors in that central 3x3 area. Oh, and I don't really want a ring of observers in the middle there. Here's what I'm thinking. Light grey glass is really transparent. So if I can just build up something like this. These ones are going to be tricky to power. I wonder if we can leave those ones and only have the trapdoors on the top and bottom work, and then these almost act like smear frames. Smear frames are like motion blur frames that are used in hand-drawn animations, and I think your brain will fill in the gaps with the fence gates. I'm hoping they will anyway. Now, I just need to connect up the redstone, which actually, because observers are transparent, I can go up like this. But that transparency is a double-edged sword because it means I can't go down like this. So I'm having to do something really ugly here, but I guess this is just a proof of concept. Oh, have we got the timings right immediately? Hey, that's not terrible. I think it just needs a little bit of delay, and the pulse length needs to be extended a bit because this one here and this one here are flicking on too fast. It's a 1-tick pulse, so they're kind of appearing and disappearing too quickly. But this is not a bad start, you know. What if I make a 3-tick pulse? How does that look? Is that all right? Or 2 ticks? 2 ticks! 2 ticks! Turn everything off. Turn everything on with 2 blades. It looks good from back here. Let's have a look. Yes! Yes! Yes, they are working. Those 2 fence gates not being animated is not making a difference in my brain. Oh my goodness, that actually looks super cool. So we've got the small one, which now doesn't really look like a windmill or wind turbine at all. I still love this. I think this works really well. This is fantastic though. This is working perfectly. If I now increase the pulse length to 3 ticks, does that make it better? Well, I don't know. I think this is better, but I've just had a thought. What if I could get 3 blades going? So I've set up this circuit, which will send redstone pulses into this system 7 ticks apart from one another, which means that the blades should be almost perfectly evenly spaced. And that does look good. It does look good, but it looks a tiny bit more slushy. I'm not sure this middle section is working quite as well for the 3 blades as it does for the 2. We might have to come back to this one. For now, I want to see if I can make things even bigger. I think I might be reaching the limit where things definitely no longer look good. 100%. I've only had to do one corner to see this is not working. Okay, maybe I'm getting somewhere with this idea. And funnily enough, I've added a little bit of swish to the end, which I think if we can carry that through the entire design, then we might actually be onto a winner. You know what? I mean, I've been building these things for a long time. I am going slightly insane, but I actually think this is kind of worked out. Editor Mumbo here. What the heck was I talking about? That thing was wiggling all over the place. I'm deleting all the future clips that I have of me being positive about that one. Now, just as I was about to settle on the medium-sized design being the best, I decided to procrastinate a little bit by going on Reddit. And it turns out that wasn't a terrible idea because CK has designed a stop-motion windmill. This relies on frames instead of an observer clock, and it's pretty cool. Now, the first thing that came to mind to try and get rid of the block noise is to use dispensers with powdered snow instead, but honestly, this looks super redstone-y. I still can't stop laughing at that thing wiggling about in the background. So I've also decided to go down the same route as CK and I've created this. This red area is the area that I assume would be taken up with the windmill. You know what? This might actually end up working quite well with not that much visible redstone. Yeah, I mean, I've created a redstone clock here, and I've got the working animation going, and there's only a handful of redstone lines that are sitting on the outside. And I would say, yeah, with the proper decoration, I do think this would end up looking really, really cool. So now I'm left with a really tricky situation, because in theory, like, this is a considerably bigger windmill and looks more windmill-esque. However, this back here, even though there is more redstone, like, there's a lot more blocks and things making up part of it, I feel like I can use this in a build a lot easier. Like, I think I can integrate this ring into a nice looking structure, whereas this is very visible. This seems a lot harder to build around, whereas I think I can make this work. So now let's take that raw redstone contraption and start decorating. Now, my first goal for this is to maintain the same block palette that I used for the wind turbines on the Hermitcraft server. That's one thing that I think went really well. I love the look of the mangrove, all of the tough blocks, and the rusty copper. I love that combination, and I think that works nicely for the theme of the base. But with this build being slightly larger, I've got more opportunities to firstly add a handful of extra electrical gubbins and just random bits and bobs to the structure itself. But also I have more opportunities to play around with gradients and shading. So I've decided that for the base, I want to have almost like a reverse gradient from what you would expect. Normally things get darker towards the bottom, but I like the idea that this windmill is sort of shading the top of the base. I've tried to take into account the shadows underneath all the electrical bits, and I've even thrown in a handful of glass panes just to finish off the effect. Now, just out of pure curiosity, I also put the old windmill next to the new windmill. And I gotta say, I mean, firstly, you have to ignore the fact that they're both rotating in different directions, but I gotta say, I am a huge fan of the new design. This build on the right looks fantastic, but you kind of have to tell yourself that it is a wind turbine. This might be one of my favorite recent builds. It's just so incredibly satisfying. And the further I get away from it, the less and less you can actually see the redstone components on the inside. And now it just looks like it's powering itself. Oh my goodness, I just loaded it up with three blades, and that might be the winner, you know. With all of the extra detail and stuff, this now looks really good. This might be my new wallpaper. I just put shaders on just to see. It's like perfectly framed within the clouds as well. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm leaving my camera still. This is going to be my new screensaver, I reckon. This might be one of my favorite builds I've worked on, you know. Your redstone ideas are stupid, and I mean that in the best possible way. I asked for your silly redstone ideas in a YouTube community post, and 13,000 people responded. That is a silly number of silly redstone ideas. So I've picked 10 of my favorites out of the bunch, and I've built them. Tino Gore has asked me to build a redstone door that runs away from you when you try to use it. So here we have our rather nice looking redstone door. You may notice we're a little bit higher than you would perhaps expect for the terrain, but it's nothing to freak out about. The border made of lodestones is an interesting stylistic choice, but I quite like it. So I guess all we have to do now is go through our door. That is a lot more piston noises than you would perhaps expect. And our door just travels off, opening and closing as it goes. I mean, that's kind of mildly insulting. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know what I would do if I was on a Minecraft server and somebody pulled this as a prank, because it's such an unnecessarily stupid prank that requires so much effort to make it work. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Oh, we might be about to have a bit of a collision here. This is the one thing about these walking machines. Basically, any block that gets in the way is a gigantic issue. Let's see how well this thing fares. Doesn't look like it's gonna fare. Wait, hang on, what? I was gonna say, I thought it had survived. It has survived! It's taken the tree with it! What? There's no stopping my door! Seriously, it's still going! It's just eating that door, it's just eating this as well! I'm actually speechless. Fernie Ferris Fern has asked me to add functionality to defunct Minecraft objects, for example the fletching table. It is time for me to make Cubfan proud. In my hands I have all the ingredients to make an arrow, so I'm just going to throw the stick on the floor, I'm going to throw the flint on the floor, and then finally the feather, and we should see our redstone lamps will turn on as the ingredients are registered, and there we go. We have got ourselves arrows coming out of the fletching table, and I personally believe if they actually add functionality to the fletching table, this is how it should happen. The arrows should be fired out at you. We should get ourselves one full stack. That is it. It took me a long time to get it exactly one full stack, so please appreciate it. I gotta say, I really like this thing. I love the idea of building this somewhere on a server. This idea isn't so silly after all. 6022 has asked me to make a clapper. A clapper is essentially the old school version of Alexa. You clap and it turns on and off your lights. Now they suggested that I use calibrated sculk sensors to detect when the player is jumping, and when they do 2 jumps, it will turn the lights on or off, but the issue is I jump around all the time. I'm just an excitable guy. Pharrell Williams can't have a clapper, I can't have a jumper. It's just the way it is. So instead, I've designed this room so that when I put my helmet on, that activates the light switch. I gotta say, this is ridiculously satisfying. Can you imagine a system like this existing in real life? How hilarious would that be? Actually, incredibly dystopian. Imagine if your Alexa would only turn on the lights if you were wearing your official Amazon merchandise. Jeffrey says, put on the cap. Otherwise you'll stay in the dark. Olfana has asked me to make a maze without walls. Now I've actually done something like this in the past, making use of fence posts under carpet, but this new system, making use of sculk sensors, is considerably more evil because you can't work on making any progress. You see, with the old system, you'd be able to bump around and eventually find your way through, whereas as soon as you step up of this one, you just get teleported back to the start, which means you have to remember the route, and this is incredibly hard. The only way that I can possibly do it is because I've left a template on the floor. Without it, it's a literal nightmare. A nightmare that can of course be defeated by just sneaking, but still, it's a nightmare. This was super easy to build, by the way, and could be done in survival if you just killed the player instead of teleporting them, which sounds lovely. What scared me more was his inability to do simple turns. I genuinely have no idea what that comment is about. I don't understand what it could possibly be in reference to. It must be some kind of mistake, because I personally am absolutely fantastic at simple turns. Evidently not. Okay, maybe the boat was the problem. Maybe just easy. Take it real easy on the turning. See? Oh gosh, that actually scared me. Moving very swiftly on from that one, Neo Peewee has asked me to make a simple redstone contraption, but build it to be waterproof. Now they said that I could encase breakable redstone components inside of blocks, but honestly that seems a little bit boring, so here I've used 100% waterproof redstone, which, to be honest, given that the observer is so overpowered, actually isn't that difficult. This bottom circuit is pretty horrific, but it does the job. So here we have a fully underwater 3x3 piston door. When I right click this note block, you can see everything opens up relatively quickly. It even has a slight spiral pattern, although it's not really the best spiral pattern. It's still a kind of spiral pattern, but given we are currently very much under the sea, I would say This is pretty good. It's satisfying to watch. I want to build an underwater base now. Oh, it seems like I haven't actually taken a screenshot of this comment, which is a little bit embarrassing, but they've asked me to make the most annoying song machine. Now, prior to the Minecraft 1.20 snapshot, this would just be spamming a whole bunch of note blocks that are all out of tune with one another to make some disgusting noises. But now that jukeboxes can interact with hoppers and droppers, and they give all sorts of redstone signals and things, we can make a machine that just constantly plays music disc number 11, which it's just not a good existence to live in a world where this machine also exists. Nothing spikes my anxiety quite like this song. Just when you think it's going to end, it starts again. It never ends. You can never escape number 11. Crystal Drawings has asked me to build a machine that seems like an item sorter but secretly steals your items slow enough so you think you just forgot. Well, it seems like we've just revealed Grian's alt account. This machine does exactly what it says on the tin. If I put a bunch of items into here, they will gradually be fired out into the water stream, and occasionally the item will be picked up by the first hopper. Now, this is all controlled by a very slow redstone clock that only fires every now and again, and it's only when the redstone clock fires it allows an item to drop through. We've almost made it through all of our items. So we put in a stack of everything, and if we take a look, you can see that we're kind of missing 3, 4, or 5 items from each, and they have all been funneled into this sneaky little chest back here. Don't build one of these in your mate's storage system, because that is illegal. I tell you what else should be illegal: hiding cake. Why would you want a cake that you can't eat? This isn't a silly redstone idea, this is a nasty redstone idea, but I've built it anyway because I'm a nasty guy. What is that I see on the horizon? Is that a delicious looking cake? Is that a Victoria sponge I see on the horizon? Well, I couldn't possibly pass up this opportunity. I'm going to run towards it, and I can no longer see the cake. It was there a second ago. If I stand really still, maybe I will be able to access the Victoria sponge. Okay, we need to be real careful about this. I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna run! I almost got there. All of this talk of Victoria Sponge actually brings me nicely onto this redstone contraption by the Lancelot, who has asked me to make the most British redstone contraption ever created. Well, I have tried my absolute best. So here we have our rather nice looking 3x3 piston door. All we have to do is put our water bottle into the chest, and yeah, we've received a thank you from the system. It does take a while to open. That's because, you know, that there's a lot of delays in England. Everything's kind of late. Now, you may notice we've got some signs here that say mind the gap, and that is Minecraft? Mojang are paying me to play Minecraft. Nobody tell them, but I normally do this for free. Idea number 1, the Happy Ghast parking garage. So, you found yourself a dried ghast, or perhaps you've crafted one of the little fellas. Goodness, I forget how sad they look. You've popped it in a hole, done a little bit of hydrating. Get less sad. Yes. Oh yes, there we go. How many snowballs do you want? Yes. Pop a harness on, and we are good to fly. Here's the problem. When I'm done with it, alright, and I want to hop off, he's just flapping about, and I need to make sure that I've got snowballs on me to attract him back. This is not that fun. So let's build a garage. Yes, that's how we say garage in England. Does this fit inside of here? Okay, and then when I dismount... Yeah, okay, that works. It's perfectly slotted in. Do I not even have to do any redstone here? He really doesn't seem to be moving at all. He definitely doesn't seem to be moving. Well, that certainly makes my life easier. So I've done a tiny bit of decoration. This is the Ghast parking garage. And if I just float on over to this thing, you can see we kind of crash into the ground in front of it. Chuck him in, hop off, and then I can step off, descend down this ladder here, and our Ghast will be stored exactly where we stopped. Very, very nice indeed. I don't know why I find this so funny. The perpetual motion machine. I'm going to try and leash a bunch of things together that infinitely move because of their own momentum. Many have tried and failed in this endeavor, but that has not put me off. Okay, I'm starting to realize that this idea might not work. So I've got a tripwire hooked up to a pulse extender. So when something goes through this tripwire, it should move the soul sand out the way for a little while and then push it back in. Then we can go up. Now, I'm going to take a rabbit and put it inside here and then attach a lead to the rabbit and attach that rabbit to another rabbit and then make that rabbit dangle. Oh, his contribution to science will never be forgotten. This is not going to work. Okay, and now I'm going to replace this pressure plate here with some water. I've never seen something work less. I've got a chain of rabbits. Okay, now when I place in this rabbit here, I then attach the chain of rabbits to the chain. Wait. This might work. And again, it doesn't actually require any redstone. So now I need to chain this into a big circle, which is proving harder and weirder than expected. But with a tiny bit of redstone, I think I've got it working, and now it's time for the first test. The first test was a catastrophic failure and everything died. So I have all of our rabbits. And then if I place in this rabbit here and leash this rabbit to that one, that should begin the chain. And our rabbits are moving. Now, all I have to do is I have to connect a lead to this rabbit and then connect it to this rabbit, and we now have a full chain. We have a perpetual motion machine. We have an infinite chain of rabbits moving round in a circle, powered by the momentum of the rabbits. What is this? Seriously. I have to send this to Mojang. They have to review this video. This is sponsored by them. They're going to be like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This could be the best thing I've ever made. It could also be the worst thing I've ever made. I don't know. What I do know is this only works because of the new lean mechanics that are introduced in the latest game drop, and that makes me very happy. I've just realized, I don't even think this bottom section is necessarily... Oh. Let's move on to the next idea, and it's entirely inspired by this one. I think I can make a retractable lift that kind of compresses into itself. I couldn't explain this without just building it, so here goes. Up at the top here, we have got the master chicken, also known as the structural chicken. Every other chicken is connected to this top one. This chain goes down to a boat with 2 pigs wearing saddles. This is what the player would ride in. Now, if I hit this button up at the top, water will be dispensed, and our first chicken will start swimming upwards, pulling the next chicken into the water, and then that chain continues, and our pigs gradually get lifted up into the sky. And I genuinely think this might be one of the funniest things I've built. Come on. Even the wings flapping makes it seem like the chickens are lifting them. So they gradually get pulled up to the top, and they stop up here. Our chain of chickens is fully compressed. All of these guys are just swimming about, and then when we want to extend this thing, we just hit the button, the water gets removed, and these pigs gradually float down to earth. I have to say, when I initially built this, I was using rabbits, and the descent was quite a lot more violent. There were a handful of deaths. A lot of rabbits died in the process. This is significantly better. I mean, look how gentle that is. And we have touchdown. This is so stupid. What's even cooler is because saddles are now craftable and leads don't require slime anymore, you can actually get all of these resources basically in day one of your Minecraft worlds, which means if you built a base up in the sky, you could make a chicken lift immediately. Day one. Day one, you can have one of these. But if vertical isn't your thing and you'd rather go diagonal, this is a working ski lift making use of very similar mechanics, but this time we put a rabbit inside of a minecart. And I have to say, it is outrageously satisfying to ride. There is no difference between riding here and riding in the minecart, but this just feels significantly cooler. I don't know why as well. It looks outrageously fast. Like, dangerously quick. I like this thing a lot, but that might be because I'm currently working from Chamonix and I look at this thing every day. This is a Guida MIDI and it takes you from 1,000 meters of elevation to 4,000 meters. How did they even build that? That doesn't even make sense. It's a feat of engineering. Do you want to see another feat of engineering? Look at my current setup. Right, let's try and move on to something that isn't lead based. I was doing some research into the dried ghast, and by the sounds of things, its stages of hydration are not random. They change every 5 minutes. And not only that, but when water is removed, it will gradually unhydrate. I wonder if there's a way to create a little redstone clock here. I've got water in my dispenser. When I place in the dry ghast, water should be dispensed and this thing should start hydrating. Now, if I crank up the tick rate, we can see that we do have a form of redstone clock, but it definitely does not seem to be consistent in its timings. It's also absolutely hilarious sounding. Oh gosh! The sounds continue! What? How are there this many? So I've made some changes to the redstone, so now the water is dispensed and retracted once it goes through its full cycle, and that has made the timings a little bit more consistent, but still not 100% consistent. However, for the footprint of this clock, look how insanely slow it is. I mean, I think this is pretty cool. You know what else is cool? Games, specifically games inside of games. I'm sure all of us have had no internet before and started playing this thing. I'm not particularly good at it, as you can see from my high score, but it is pretty enjoyable. So let's build it in Minecraft. First things first, we need to do the jump mechanism. And what's really cool is we can control jump height by how much slack there is in the system. Wow. It was a significantly bigger jump than I was expecting. I might have to go back to the drawing board a little bit here. I have a question. If I have a fox on a lead, but then swing it by a chicken... Okay, let's try that again. Fox on lead, swing it by the chicken. It does attack. Oh my goodness, this could be hilarious. I have tried so hard, in so many different ways, to make this system reliable, but sadly, I haven't quite pulled it off. However, you can kind of see what I was thinking here, and... there's got to be a way. So I'm switching over to plan B. And after a lot of time and a lot of different setups, I have got myself a working system. I like to keep things simple, so the start button is also the jump button. And as soon as I press this... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess this is a good time to explain how to reset this thing. I just grab a lead and connect our chicken up to this boat up at the top. Then everything has been reset and it's ready to go. See if I can get more than 2 points. Okay, good start. Terrible. Terrible. How is my reaction time that bad? At least I got 3 points. I think it was the area surrounding the note block that was throwing me off. Now it's looking a little bit nicer. I just want to be good. That's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I want. I mean, that was better. That was better. I think I've demonstrated this well. Let me take you around the back to show you what's going on here. And frankly, there really isn't too much to it. The note block is hooked up to this piston up at the top here, which is pulling our chicken upwards. We have a redstone clock hooked up to a randomizer, which is sending out the minecarts. When you click jump for the first time, that flips an RS NOR latch, which activates the game. And then when the chicken lands on the pressure plate, it flicks the RS NOR latch back. One detail that I added is if you were to start the game with the chicken in the dead position, it will not start, which is nice, means that hopefully you shouldn't be able to break too much stuff. Oh, and I've also added a little cutoff circuit, so you can't just hold down the right click button and have it hover upwards. There is a small cooldown. For a silly idea, I would say this was executed quite well. But on the topic of executing things well, I want to return to the ghast parking garage. Okay, firstly, I want to say I'm really happy to see that this guy is still chilling in here, and I still think this build is adorable, but I've realized if I attach a boat to the bottom of this thing, it's not going to work anymore. And although I don't have many friends to fly with, you might, and you might need to park your ghast without smashing your friends into the pavement. I also want to make this two-directional because sometimes getting out of this thing can be a tiny bit fumbly. Right, what have we got going on here? We've got a very similar entrance, but I'm thinking because these happy ghasts are like exactly the size of this entrance, we actually only need this. This edge here should be enough to stop it. So I've done some really basic wiring here, and now as the ghast is parked in here, these edges should stop the ghast from moving, which is perfect. But then if I sit down on the ghast and want to leave, I can hit the button and fly out, which means this system should now be fully functional. And yes, of course, I had to retain some of the details from the original design. So I am ready to go, hit the button, and fly out with my ghast. Incredibly satisfying. Is my little boat still attached? Yes, it is. That's fantastic too. And now let's try flying in. Flying into the ghast parking station. Okay, we've landed on the edge. Well, that's about as easy as it gets, right? I've been playing Minecraft for 14 years. In that time, I've built a lot of things and spent thousands of hours in survival mode. But technically, I've never actually completed the game and beaten the Ender Dragon. That is, until today. Hopefully. Here we go. As you can see up in the top left, I've got a little timer just in case I happen to get a world record speed run. I wouldn't want that to not be timed. This is going to be called Mumbo Beats Minecraft. I don't have to change anything. We are in business. Oh, I'm in cinematic mode to start things off. Okay. This is not the biome that I kind of would have hoped for my entrance. Not sure we're currently on world record pace. Here we go. First wood, sub 1 minute. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. How am I still this bad at starting a new game? I've been playing for so long. How can I not know what I'm doing? Get some sticks going. What is the game plan here? I mean, normally I'm kind of thinking long term, but this world is only going to exist for a short amount of time, so I don't really have to think of too much. Is an axe a good idea? I don't know. I mean, it makes this a little bit faster. Okay, in just under 2 minutes, I've managed to remove a whole tree. You know, call me delusional, but I still think we're on track for a world record here. All right, let's head down into the mines. Now, the big question is, do I upgrade my tool immediately? Maybe I do. Need the crafting book. Your boy can't remember how to craft a pickaxe. Desperately in need of coal. Oh, gosh. I can't even kill fish. Man, these are formidable targets. Has anyone got the stats on any percent 13 salmon? What about 14 salmon? All right, let's get some fuel in this furnace. I don't know what the best fuel source to use is, but there seems to be plentiful wood around. In fact, I guess I should think about a game plan. Like, I guess I'm getting myself set up so that I can get through to the nether, so then I can trade with piglins and stuff to get ender pearls and do some fighting to get blaze rods, and then get into the end and then do some bed bits. Should have looked up the bed bits before I started. I am going to try and avoid using Google and things throughout this run. I'm using the information that I came into the session with, which isn't much. You have to understand, I have a very narrow view, or I guess I have a very wide view of Minecraft apart from the actual, like, gameplay mechanics that lead to completion of the game. I've basically interacted with every element of Minecraft other than the actual progression from start to completion. Because I would argue, Minecraft is all about all of the other stuff. That being said, those speedrunners are incredibly impressive. Should I be looking for sheep so I can get myself a bed so I can sleep through the night? That probably seems wise, unless I'm going down to the mines. Maybe by the time the night comes, especially with all of this coal, I should actually be able to get myself down into the mines. Ah, this is a decent chunk. We're at 9 minute 37, which means although a sub 10 is unlikely, it's still not impossible. I've got 40 torches. Oh my goodness, the first night is coming. Okay, I think I'm gonna grab a little bit more wood. I think I have enough food. Nice. Okay. Now that I think about it, what am I even going down into the mines for? Like, I'm kind of defaulting to standard survival Minecraft stuff, but what do I actually need from down here? Maybe iron? Iron would be useful, but I could probably get enough from the surface, you know? I feel like I'm committed because I didn't get a bed, and I'm not skilled enough to kill many things. This could be useful. Wait, what difficulty? Okay, I'm playing on normal difficulty. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't on peaceful mode. Okay, we got some copper. We got some creepers. Oh, copper again. Oh, there's the good stuff. Right, I should give myself an easy way out. I'm so nervous. I actually really don't feel like I should be here. I can definitely handle creepers, but things like skeletons are really gonna send me, I think. This is a really big cave for the lack of mobs. Yes, there we go. Oh, no. I don't like that. Skeletons in the early game are so killer. Go away, YouTube downloader. Oh, YouTube downloader always killed me. That's what I get for piracy. Right, we're up to 9. 9 bits of iron. I kind of want to go into the nether with full armor. I know that is not the most optimum strategy, but I'm bad. Gosh, this feels really dodgy. Oh, I thought that was a creeper. Oh no. Oh gosh. There's a combination of things that are happening here that are not good. Okay, that wasn't smart. That wasn't smart. Really unwise. I've lost my pickaxe. Look at this speed crafting, by the way. How about that? All right, how much do I need? I've got 20 iron. I just need a little bit more. Wow, this is a treasure-filled cave. Gold? Can I mine this with a stone pickaxe? No, that's embarrassing. I think I'm actually going to run out of this cave. Oh, I can't help myself. I'm just such a resource gatherer. Like, even though I am kind of playing for an objective that doesn't need this much stuff, I just can't run past useful stuff. Okay, where did I come in? Over there. Nice. I haven't managed to get myself lost. This is fantastic. Very well done. And I think we should be approaching daytime now. Like, the sun should be starting to come out. Yes, look at that. Timed everything to perfection. Okay, right. I need my furnace. There we go. Chuck the iron in. Excellent. While this is doing this, I am going salmon fishing, and then we can start prepping to go through into the nether. Now, I have just thought, it probably would be smart of me to actually get a small amount of gold, just so I'm not getting absolutely blasted by piglins. Now, the good thing is we're actually in a mesa biome, so I should be able to mine a decent amount of gold, because gold spawns more frequently in the mesa. So if I can find a cave entrance, we should be golden. Literally golden. I'm also going to take a screenshot of my coordinates, just in case I die. I don't want to lose access to all of that iron. This is not a hardcore world, and I'm not going to be resetting if I die. We're getting to the end no matter what. Perfect. Okay, I can start to see some ores. But as I've just learned, I need an iron pickaxe. Iron pickaxe, let's get a chest plate on the go. And a sword. Let's throw out this one. Throw out this one. Let's also get another furnace on the go so I can cook up the rest of my salmon. Nice. I feel like we're in a good place. Wow, not a single sheep on the horizon. Not even over there. Is this seed entirely devoid of life? I might seriously be in trouble here. I really need to remember that I don't have feather falling. I keep just launching myself off of platforms. Gradually getting there. I don't know how likely ender pearls are to get from piglin bartering trades. I think the usual strategy is to convert gold blocks into ingots. So I guess I probably need a lot. But again, I'm not entirely sure when I go through to the nether if I'm going to go seeking out a bastion. I struggle with bastions at the best of times, let alone in bad armor and with an iron sword. I also have no clue where any of the secret gold block locations are, so I think that could be a struggle for me. Oh, I just noticed we've missed out on the world record. That's unfortunate. Maybe next time. Where are all the sheep? I really hadn't anticipated this being a problem. Things are starting to spawn. Wow, where are they? Oh, yes, finally. They are being mildly guarded by zombies, but that is fine. Oh, do I have enough iron for shears? I have no iron on me. Okay, these sheep are gonna die. I've got quite a lot of zombies on me. I've got enough wool. Ah! Right, bed. Boom. 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 Yes! Please don't set me on fire. I'm not sure I would necessarily describe my strategy so far as being optimum. Do I stand under this tree and look at this enderman? Is there enough space around me that he's not gonna be able to hit me? Have I left enough space? He didn't even drop an ender pearl. Wow, I'm not gonna lie to him. I have totally lost my base. Yeah, what? I've lost the mesa biome entirely. There we go. Wow. Okay, 27 iron, a bunch more food, get some gold on the go. But this is good. I am looking good. Oh, I think the next thing that I need is probably a bucket so that I can make a nether portal. I've just thought I can make myself a bow. I've got 4 arrows. I suppose I could make myself some more arrows. And they're not actually that expensive. That's probably okay. I've only got 8 gold for trading, and I don't think that's enough by any stretch of the imagination. But I do wonder if when I get into the nether, I can actually use the gold ore. I know it only drops nuggets, but, you know, I think with enough, I should be okay. Remember, we are not going for speed here. We're going for completion. Are you actually allowed to die in a speed run? I genuinely don't know the rules. Should I also get a second bucket so I can make an infinite water source down by where the lava is? That might be smart. Look at this beautifully organized inventory. Okay, I think I can move my base away from here and head off in search of gold. No, that's wrong. Head off in search of lava. But I'm also going to go in the direction of where the gold may be, so that hopefully I can get that too. There is some gold. These are really strange caves. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Okay, that was worthwhile. Lava pool, excellent. Oh, and a desert temple. Do they normally have good things in them? That actually could be useful. I have no clue what the loot options are for a desert temple, but I do know that there's TNT in them, which that could actually be handy. They really should have used wooden pressure plates for this, because if any of those blocks landed on that, it would have triggered the trap. That's pants. Useful. Actually, really useful. Also kind of useful. Not bad. This was a good idea coming in here. And a golden apple. I mean, I don't know when I'm going to use this, but it feels handy to have. I have no clue what I'm going to do with all those bones. I don't even know why I connected them, but I feel like being able to bone meal stuff could come in handy at some point. Do we do it? Do we go through into the nether? I think we go through into the nether. So let me be smart about how I'm doing this. I'm going to do this a slow way because I don't know the best strategy. So I've got 2 bits of lava there, and then they can have water on top of them. This is why I don't do things the fast way. Okay, so I need a block above. Perfect. All right, plonk my lava down. Then, yeah, place a block. Water. Smooth. Now remember, before all of you start laughing at me down in the comment section, I am only a professional Minecrafter. Okay? I only do this for a living, so try not to judge me too harshly. This is only literally the thing that I am known for and best at. Playing Minecraft. Things are going well, though. This is starting to look like another portal. I remember when I first started playing Minecraft, I genuinely didn't believe people when they said that there was another dimension to it. I'd already been burned by Herobrine, you know, and I couldn't believe that Minecraft would have another dimension. And when I discovered it for myself, I almost cried. I also immediately attacked a piglin and died. But then this gave me a false sense of confidence for the Aether mod, and I was absolutely heartbroken. Right, can I do something impressive here? So I need to place this. Yeah, look at that. I didn't need all of the framework blocks around it. That was cool. Right, we have got ourselves 1 nether portal. Nice. Let's get that lit. Beautiful. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going straight through. Oh, basalt. No. Oh, this is like the worst case scenario. This is bad. Oh, and I'm in an awkward spot. And there's a ghast there. Oh, gosh. I'm just going to hide. Oh, maybe this is what, yeah, this is probably what my bow and arrow is for, right? Yes. Oh, look at that. Okay, remember where this is. Screenshot taken. Do I need nether quartz? It's going to feel so weird running past that. What would I need nether quartz for? I don't think I need it. This is an absolute disaster, really. Is it worth tearing down the portal and placing it somewhere else? Oh, I don't have a diamond pickaxe. I mean, I need a nether fortress, and I really can't see one of those on the horizon. I don't know if this is cheating turning these things off, but oh my goodness, that has made life so much easier. Wow. Oh, there's a bastion. Oh, that's actually quite useful, right? I really don't know what my best plan of action is. This is potentially suicidal. Very much potentially suicidal. Okay, I've got my first bit of nether gold. It drops more than I thought, you know. I must admit, I'm kind of just standing around doing nothing right now because I'm indecisive. I don't know whether to go towards the bastion or just commit to a direction and go, or go back to the overworld and move my portal. Preferably, I don't want to get killed by a ghast. There are some piglins down there that I can actually try trading with. I mean, would it be a terrible idea to start trading with this guy? I mean, I know this isn't the fastest way of doing things. Okay. Well, I guess this can be my life for the time being. Probably would prefer it if there was more of them. Okay, that's actually useful. A fire resistance potion is useful for someone as bad as me. That'll be helpful for the blaze. Some spectral arrows. But, I mean, maybe useful? I'm starting to think I need so much more gold than I've come in here with. Wow. Crying obsidian. Crying obsidian again? Quartz? Soul speed 1. Not complaining. More fire resistance. Again, I'm terrible at the game. This is good. Oh, gosh. He absolutely slammed my piglin. That wasn't my fault, dude. I'm sorry. Nether bricks. Wow, I've gone through all of my gold, and I have not gotten a single ender pearl. I think maybe the bastion's the way to go. Go on. Yes! Yeah! Also, soul speed 1 is pretty good. Nether fortress! Yes! Okay, we have all the pieces of the puzzle. All right, let's pick up some of the gold, because as soon as I break a gold block in there, things are going to get very hostile. Oh! Things have already gotten hostile. I mean, you guys are chill with me, right? I'm just extremely concerned that they're not going to be chill with me as soon as I touch this. I'll try and goad them with some niceness first. Okay. Wow, I'm getting very unlucky on the ender pearl front, aren't I? Okay, I formulated a plan. Covering this up. Okay, they can't get through here. I break this, pick it up, but they're all stuck there. This is good. Now I can trade with them, right? Like, they'll still trade with me. This could be the way. I really got nothing from that. Fire charges. It's just endless fire charges. More gravel. No! No! It's not for me. This game is not for me. I'm going back to redstone. I am actually going back to redstone. How can people find this fun? I'm stressed. I'm stressed and I'm upset. I'm going to do this the incredibly slow and incredibly painful way. Ow. Ow. Nice. What am I up to? It feels like a decent quantity. Yeah, 29 gold. This is the way. I still can't help but feel like I've definitely traded 29 gold already and got nothing, but I suppose that is just trading. If only there was some way I could modify the game so that didn't happen. The worst part is, my bad luck hadn't even started yet. At this point, I was just getting averagely unlucky. I traded about a stack of golden ingots and got no ender pearls, which isn't that unusual. However, as time went on, I genuinely did end up getting unlucky, which is why I'm recording this voiceover here. Wasn't planning on doing this, but I am saving you the pain of hearing me grumble for a full hour as I gather thousands of nuggets, craft up hundreds of ingots to get seven ender pearls. You best believe I'm spending the rest of this evening looking at gold locations in bastions. I never want to go through that again. Okay. Finally, we got 2 though. 2! The lowest possible number! Now, with the help of a few endermen spawning, my total went up to 11, and now it's time to fight some blaze. I'm going to have to do some Googling after this run is over to see how many gold blocks are normally in a bastion, because I feel like it's somewhere in the region of like 12 to 18, which would be nowhere near enough gold with my trading luck to get enough ender pearls to actually do anything. Right. Oh, well, that was unsuccessful. Oh no, I'm not even doing this. I'm going to the nether fortress. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll make a chest. Yeah, I'm going to make a chest. Just because there's still a chance that I might die. So I'm going to put all my ender pearls in there, and my obsidian, and then I have all my fire resistance potions sorted. Now let's charge over here. Soul speed is so satisfying, isn't it? Gotta be up there as one of the most fun enchantments. Oh, I'm very much regretting not picking up that diamond shovel. I know I made a lot of jokes at the start about being disappointed that I didn't get sub 10, but I genuinely am a little bit disappointed that I'm not getting sub 3 hours. I didn't come into this at all as a speedrun challenge. I came into it purely wanting to complete the game, but like a little part of me kind of wanted to do it in a sort of time that at least I was happy with. I mean, it's not an impressive time by any stretch of the imagination, but that is just the benchmark that I set for myself. Oh, there's still so far to go. Where even is it? Oh, we're right next to it. We're basically in it. Okay, that's actually gone quite smoothly. Now, I do need to keep in mind that, of course, not only do blaze spawn in these places, but also wither skeletons do. Thankfully, I don't generally find them too challenging because, of course, I can just place blocks on top of my head. I am officially in. Oh my goodness, immediately confronted with so many wither skeletons. Knowing me, like, all of my luck will be channeled into getting wither skulls. You gotta be joking me that I'm getting wither skeleton skulls more frequently than I'm getting ender pearls. That is a sick joke. That right there is a sick joke. All right, we've got a blaze. 1 blaze rod. Oh my goodness, I'm just getting endless wither skeleton attacks. You're joking! I've got 2 wither skeleton skulls! I'm 1 wither skeleton skull away from having a wither! I have no looting! I've never been so lucky and unlucky at the same time. Am I going to get no blaze spawner? Yes! Okay, this is gonna sort me. I just need to keep an eye on my fire resistance and remember to do my splash potion. I'm also going to clear out as many blocks around here as possible to increase the likelihood of blaze spawns. Oh, I forget that they have melee attacks. 5, you get 1 for 1, right? Oh, no, it's 2 for 1. I left my obsidian in my chest. How am I this stupid? I left the obsidian that I was going to use to make a portal to get home, so I didn't have to go to the... I left my portal resources next to my portal. Can you imagine being that dense? Seriously. That's next level stupid. Okay, we're up to 18. I'm going to aim for like 25. 24. Am I happy with 24? Ah, why not? 0 blaze rods from that. Maybe they fell in the fire. Either way, I think I am good. I think I'm heading back in the right direction. I mean, I can't entirely remember how I got here. Oh my goodness. The soul sprint thing almost killed me then. I was not expecting to accelerate to the edge like that. And I think I might just about have enough food to squeak it. Oh, I don't know if I made this big enough. Oh. I made a huge error. But it just about paid off. Pillaring up in the gas dimension doesn't seem wise, but it's just what I've got to do. Yes, my portal. Nice. Enderman. There he is. Yes. Cool. Okay. Are there any more? Please. I'm looking right at you, dude. Oh, I'm going to have to approach. Yep. Good. Good, good. Nice, nice, nice. So that was more successful than an hour and 15 minutes of trading with piglins. Just 2 minutes of night. Now, I have absolutely no idea how to read the angles of these things, by the way. So we could actually be in for a huge wastage of Eyes of Ender. I don't know why I've made this chest, but I feel like I should store up some of my other bits and pieces. Things like, you know, I'll make a little one of these setups. Quartz might be useful. Gold nuggets. I couldn't bring myself to throw away the wither skulls. Who knows? This might turn into my forever world. I'm going to throw it in a place where if it drops, it's not going to land in lava. Oh, doesn't that mean it's miles away? We kept it. Good. Do I just risk it with 13 Eyes of Ender? I mean, I'll take my bed. Oh, I need beds. That's how I beat the Ender Dragon. Oh, I've got 64 string. I can make a bunch of beds. Oh, I need food. It's amazing. I have never felt so new at a game while having so much experience in it. Like, you have to understand, out of the thousands of hours that I have played Minecraft, the many thousands of hours, the number of hours I have spent in, like, true survival, and by that I mean, like doing what I'm doing right now, punching trees and actually having to gather resources that are essential to my survival and not just for some big building project, or things that will like forward my progression in the actual progression tree of the game. I've probably only spent, realistically, maybe like 30 hours like that, like genuinely in the entire time that I've played Minecraft. Because think about it, I play on the Hermitcraft server. It's full of freaks, right? We all hop onto the server and everyone gets everything done really quickly. And by the second day that you hop onto the server, there's already a shopping district. And there's already like an automatic farm set up. So your food is covered. And like you can get things. You know? And like, I'm the same as well. Like, it just means that you can start worrying about the more fun side of things. But this is interesting. I am enjoying myself. Like, this is really curious for me. I kind of didn't expect to be as bad as I am, even though I know I'm absolutely terrible at all things PvP and everything. Do actual speedrunners bother getting food, or are they so fast that they don't even really need much of it? Like, what is the strategy for speedrunner food, both in and out of the game? I'm curious what speedrunners are eating. This is pure monster energy. There is a village over there. Is that a good strategy, to loot a village? Oh, wheat, maybe? Yeah, I can take the wheat blocks. Good idea. These guys are all starting to go to bed. Doesn't seem to be really any farms or anything around here. Oh, but there are beds. Sorry, dude. All right, we're getting to a place where I can start to see mobs wandering around. There are so many mobs around, but so few Endermen. I thought that was an Enderman. Oh, Enderman, Enderman, Enderman. This guy's the fidgetiest guy! Oh, he didn't even drop anything! Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness, it's almost a... Oh, wow, 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 wow. A group. You best not despawn. You best not despawn. Oh. Can I get the friend? I want this one! Oh gosh. I need to be smart here. I need to stop being stupid. I only got one. Come on! It's disappeared! I don't know how I can make it more obvious that I'm looking at you. Not the most successful night. 2 ender pearls. But that does take our total up to 16. I've got a decent amount of food, and I've got beds. So I would say there's a chance that we're good to go. And who knows, we might still be on for a sub 5 hour. But I'm going to run in this direction, because this is the direction that my Eye of Ender told me to go. Now, again, I know nothing about the angles of these things. So, yeah, there's a chance that I'm just going to completely misread this situation. Now, one thing that I am going to do is keep my eye on the ocean floor, because sometimes you do get little strongholds popping out, and that would be incredibly useful because, again, I don't really have that many Eyes of Ender. Reckon it's time to pop another one? Still very much in this direction. Oh, we're getting lucky. See, this is the thing. Maybe we will end up getting lucky with our Eyes of Ender not breaking. And you know what? I will take that. I guess the more it gets off of a cardinal direction, the closer you potentially are. Is that just like an old ruined portal? I think that's a ruined portal. Wow. Still off in this direction, and it's still dropping. There is a 20% chance of it breaking. I do know that. Right, what are we thinking? Are we thinking we shoot another one? Yeah, let's go for it. Oh. Oh! Okay. So that was west. We must be really close. Shall I throw another? Oh, it's like right here, right? It almost feels like it's got to be by that ocean monument. Okay, I'm going to throw another one. I've scooched a little bit further along. Oh, it's like right here. Oh, it's there! Yes! Oh my goodness, and we've got enough! We've got enough! Yes, yes, yes! Oh, that's incredible. I don't know why I'm even going up to my boat. That's pure panic. Oh my goodness. That is a stronghold. Yes! I don't know anything about strongholds. I don't know the layout at all. Okay, I'll follow the sounds of mobs. Thank you. Okay, right. We're in. Now, again, I don't really know how to navigate these things. I don't know where the portal room is. This is not going to be an elite strategy by any stretch of the imagination. Enderbell. Should I have worn a pumpkin head for the Enderman? I don't remember having to dig around so much in strongholds. Okay, stupid question. But all strongholds have end portals in, right? Like, there's no false strongholds, right? I'm assuming if you know the layout of a stronghold, the poking around is a little bit more informed than what mine currently is. I think I've been here about 3,000 times. New area. Redstone. More bread. The library room, I remember this. Yeah, I remember this. Okay. Oh, these things are such labyrinths if you don't know where you're going. Surprisingly, like, mob-free. Is that because of the Guardians? Like, because there's an ocean monument just above me, that has, like, taken up the mob cap. Because I'll take that. I've got mining fatigue. Bunch of iron. That is actually useful because my sword is almost out. Is there anything around here? Nope. This goes to a dead end that I can't mine through. Okay, I can hear the lava. And it's pretty close by. I've only got 30 seconds left of mining fatigue. Oh, it's close. I think this is just regular lava. No. Genuine question. Do I send off an Eye of Ender just to see where it goes to get my bearings? Sure. Okay, really do have so much to learn in this game. Do I seriously throw another one? It's definitely going in this direction. But I can't find a way to go in that direction. I didn't expect this to be the hard part. Right, this is my last Eye of Ender. Didn't even see where it went. I mean, does that mean it's right underneath me? I think I've run around this about 25 times. I just keep ending up in the same spot. Wait, is this legitimately new? Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Oh my goodness. That actually works. How did I not notice that? This is where I get confused. If I get killed by a silverfish now. If I get killed by a silverfish now. I swear. I swear. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Seriously? 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 Seriously, this is a problem. I'm closing the door on that one. I'm actually so excited to be here. I am so glad I brought a bunch of these. Because only one of them generated? That's incredibly unlucky, right? We might be on for a sub 5 hour unless things go really badly. What do I need now? I don't really think this far ahead. So things that I don't need. Probably not that. Do need that. That's good. Don't need an Eye of Ender anymore. An Ender Pearl might be handy. I need a water bucket so that I can come down from the bucket clutching. You know, I can do some bucket clutching. That's good. I need a bunch of beds. So I've got this many beds. Is that enough beds, or am I going to have to do things manually? I do have a decent number of arrows. I'm not entirely sure how to do the bed thing. But I think it will probably work something a bit like an ender crystal. I should bring tons of blocks in. Because, look, I do kind of want to use the beds. But at the same time, I don't think I'm good enough to do the beds. And if I mess up the beds, I will have no other way to kill the dragon. That will give me a good chance. And then I don't have to do a crazy, like, what is it, a one cycle? Is that what it's called? A one cycle? Don't have to do anything like that. I can do a many cycle and be happy. Yeah, am I happy? Am I happy? Yes. One thing that I do definitely need to do, wow, how could I have forgotten that, is I almost forgot to sleep. So at least now if I die, I will be able to get back in and hopefully pick up my stuff as long as it doesn't go flying into the end. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh, I'm so unready. It's unreal. It's actually making me feel sick. Okay. Well, I'm very glad I crafted the pickaxe. Can you imagine if I just stayed in this box forever? Oh, I don't even know if I enjoy being in this position. I really don't even know if I enjoy it. Wait, am I even recording? Yes. Yes. Okay. See, this is the thing. I just get crazy, like, nerves. Oh, I can't even swallow. My throat is closed. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so we have an ender dragon. Don't know what I was expecting, but we have it. This is the least interesting thing that could have happened. Would have been more interesting if the ender dragon was there. Right. Good shot. It's a good first blow. I actually didn't check how many arrows I had. Not enough for this sort of funny business. Oh. Yes. Oh, okay, he was doing the flapping thing. I think he's coming for me. Wait, was that a bucket clutch from me? Did I just bucket clutch? Excuse me? Wow. Oh, putting the bucket in the first slot was a good smart move as well. Oh! My accuracy! Okay, I personally think I'm now going to do... yeah, a bit of this. Hopefully we don't get absolutely clattered by an ender dragon. Oh, I've just thought, how do you actually break these, right? Because they're... my goodness. Yes! Oh, how's that come about? Oh, trying to avoid these endermen is difficult. I should have put a pumpkin on my head. Oh, I definitely also feel like I should have brought more blocks with me, which is interesting. Yep. Cool. Now, unfortunately, I am actually going to have to remove the blocks because I don't have enough with me. That is a huge error, right? Oh, did I even bring enough food? Oh. I am feeling good, though. I'm feeling marginally calm. I shouldn't break it here. Yeah, okay. Smart. Well played. I should have brought more food. This is really getting me. Yeah. Okay, I think he's coming in for a sweep, so I should probably be wary. But this would be the time that I would be doing the bed stuff, I think. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Gosh, this one's so big. Yikes. Yikes. Oh, yeah, I forget it removes blocks. I totally forget that. Oh, I'm so silly as well. Hang on. I mean, is this silly? It's just this seems like such a good vantage point to potentially, like, shoot this. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Oh my goodness, have I got all of them? Oh, he's in the middle. He's in the middle. How long does he stay in the middle? Oh, should I just drop down? I mean, I don't need these blocks anymore, right? Oh. Oh. I just dropped onto his head. That was probably unwise. That probably wasn't the optimum strat. Right, run. Whenever I hear that sound, just run. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to... I should have brought more than a stone pickaxe. This is terrible. How many arrows do I have? 41. So I actually can do some decent damage with the arrows. Oh. Not a terrible shot. I'm just going to be really... because I've got infinite, like... you know, it's not going to regenerate health, so I might as well just take pop shots. I don't know how much damage these are actually doing. I think the answer is not much. That's coming in. That's coming in, right? Oh. How do I place it? Oh, what a fail by me! What a fail! Wow! Such a fail. such a fail. Oh, I was so slow. But fine. It's fine. Let's just place some water around. Is he coming in again? No way. Oh, I don't actually have that many beds. Whoa! I don't seem to be doing much damage. Have I got the wrong spot? What? Really very little damage. Oh no, I did such little damage. I mean, what is the game plan here? TNT? Oh jeez, what an idiot. Total waste. How many arrows? I've got 37 arrows. No beds and no ability to go back. Oh. Okay, that was not bad. That was not bad. Oh. Okay, I just need to wait for it then. I just need to wait for the swooping. Okay. Get out of there. Get out of there. Maybe place some TNT. Oh, it did good. That did good. Not bad. We might be approaching a win. Oh, my legs won't stop shaking. I'm wobbling my legs around all over the place. Do not. And do not look at an Enderman. Come on. Come on, we are so close. We are so close, it's unreal. Oh, I can't believe we've run out of beds. I can't believe I've run out of food. I can't believe I'm almost out of arrows. I can't believe it's TNT from the desert temple that might actually be the thing that seals this deal. That is incredible. He's coming in. Run! 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 No! It did no damage! Ah! That was so close! I think as soon as it flies off, I think we might get it! We're gonna get it! Come on, as soon as it starts flying. Yes! Oh, yes! I don't believe it! Oh my goodness! Oh! Yes! Oh my goodness! That was amazing and dreadful at the same time. That was amazing and absolutely the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life at the same time. How on earth did that happen? I can't believe I pulled that off. I did my first ever bucket clutches. I can't believe that TNT is actually what finished it off. Wow, look how close to the wire we were. That is bonkers. Oh, woefully unprepared. Goodness gracious me. Right, let's get these end credits going. Oh, I'm going to sit through and I'm going to watch every single one of the end credits. And you know what? I'm going to applaud all of them. You know, I'm going to applaud the whole team. Thank you. Minecraft Java Edition. Probably should introduce who you are.
That sounds like a good idea.
I should probably ask you Who are you? As you can probably tell, I am not used to making these sorts of videos.
So I am Matt Batwings. I am a Redstone / computer science YouTuber.
In short, he's a very smart cookie. Me and Matt spoke for 5 hours. We took a look at a bunch of his previous projects, he explained some computational redstone concepts, and I even had a go at some myself. He has ranked his projects from easiest through to hardest, and we're starting things off on level 1 with Flappy Bird.
It was the first kind of big-ish computational build I ever made.
Do I start the game? I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah, go ahead and press that button.
I'm more nervous for my own skills at Flappy Bird. Oh, I forget that Wait, did I die?
Did you die on the first pipe?
I died on the first pipe. Right, here we go. I feel like I can do well here.
You got this.
Oh, asking me to showcase how your games function is never going to end well. This is how it is supposed to look. Well, the redstone contraption itself is incredibly impressive. My skills at using it are not impressive. What I'm kind of most impressed by here is it's not that complicated. Like, it's complicated, don't get me wrong, but like it's not that big.
Yeah, no, the form factor is really, really nice on this one.
You could feasibly have this on like a survival multiplayer server.
Definitely, yeah.
After my embarrassing defeat at a Flappy Bird, I wanted to try and redeem myself by guessing how this machine works. So my guess is that every single time you hit the tripwire, it increases your signal strength by a certain amount, and then obviously that gradually decays. So then if you jump up a few times, it will add onto itself.
Yep, that is exactly right.
Okay, well that's very...
Literally.
Okay, that makes me a little bit happy.
All this button does is it takes the current signal strength, adds 3 to it, and puts it back in.
Kind of glad that on level 1, the first one, we're not quite lost yet. This would be a tricky video to record if I was immediately completely lost.
Next is the pipes. So I needed to figure out how to generate a pipe in a clean way. This first part here with the target blocks is just another red coder. So if you put in, I don't know, some signal strength, you can see that only one torch is on.
Yep.
Wherever that torch is, this next part of the circuit just makes it so that it puts a signal strength of, I think, 7 onto this tower.
Very smart.
And what that does is it cancels out a 7 long gap here.
That's very smart, and that makes total sense.
From there, the random pipes are sent across the screen using repeaters and observers.
Yep, nice and easy.
And what's funny is that if you notice on the very front of the screen, the bird is in the first column.
Yes,
so,
okay.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
You can use this edge here to do an AND gate between the bird and the last column of pipes.
That's so smart. So if the bird was in the middle of the screen, or even just like 2 blocks further over, probably
would
have
be 10
been
times harder.
10 times harder, right? Like it's way more complicated. But because it's on the edge, you have that side to be able to just compare them and be like, yep, cool. At this point, things were going well. I was familiar with all of these concepts. All of these were circuits that I recognized. So let's move on to build number 2. Is it Connect 4?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's a digital Connect 4. Okay. After my embarrassing defeat of Flappy Bird, I was feeling the pressure. But after an incredibly long game... Wait! Yes! Yes! I think I won!
Oh, wait. Did I lose?
Yes!
Did I lose? No!
Yes! Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Wow,
Oh my goodness, good game.
Well, you may have built the redstone contraption, but who's the real smart one, eh? It's definitely still Matt. So let's take a look at how this thing works.
You only have to think about one column at a time. Probably the hardest part of any game like this is gravity. So it basically uses a spiral, or I guess a downward torch tower. And the first thing it does, it sets every latch from top to bottom. But obviously, as you know, if you just only did that, then it would look like this, right? It would just set them all, and it would look like that. But then it does a second thing, which is if a latch becomes set, it resets the latch above it.
Right, okay.
So if you think about it, we set this first one, and then we set the second one. It became set, so it's going to reset the one above it.
Right, okay.
And it kind of follows this pattern. And then by the time you get down to here, it's going to set this one. That became set, which resets this. And it is also going to set this one, but it didn't become set. It was already set. So it doesn't reset the one above it.
Interesting.
The next question is, how do you switch between X's and O's? And also, how do you make it remember that it's X's and O's?
Yeah, that's the big question for me, because I have zero concept for how that would go.
Let's start with the orange part. So The orange part, there's 2 inputs to it, and it's very simple. If the top is activated, it shows the O.
Yep.
And if the bottom is activated, it shows the X.
Perfect.
And then there's a repeater lock here. So you can put a 1 or 0 into it, and you can also lock it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And now what's interesting about this is when the repeater is unlocked, the display is canceled. But when it's locked, it will not only display the thing, but if it's locked with a 0, it'll show an O. And if it's locked with a 1, it'll show an X.
Right, okay.
So if I turn on this power and lock it, it shows an X now.
Okay, that is interesting. And
if it's unlocked, then it doesn't matter what I put in here. It's just going to show nothing because the cell is not occupied yet.
Okay, interesting.
I took the gravity SR thing in the blue.
Yep.
And I put it behind a bunch of these displays all stacked on top of each other.
Yep.
So when you drop a chip, wherever the chip lands, it's going to lock that repeater.
Makes sense. Okay.
Then I connected all of the green inputs together, the signals that control whether it's X or O. I combined them all together into one line.
Yep.
So right now they're all off. And if we press this note block, then it's going to go down and lock that bottom repeater. Yep. Which locks it with a 0 because again, they're all connected and it's set to 0.
Yep.
So if we set it to 1 now, this doesn't change because it's still locked. But if we drop again,
makes sense. That makes sense. You're trying to send an X to all of these modules, but they will only display the X when they're being powered by the cascade thing. And then the locking repeater is important because obviously when it changes states, that is then acting as the memory storage for what it was. Yeah. Like what it has been historically. Yep. Interesting. So at this point, I was still in the realm of understanding, but barely. Let's move on to build number 3. This seems like a big jump. I just want to throw that out there. Like,
okay, in my defense, I don't have many builds in between these two. I was looking at my builds and I was like, shoot, do I have any in this like medium size? I really don't.
Like, I think we might have left the realm of understanding. This is a functional paint program in Minecraft. This does require a resource pack. Matt has retextured the 16 different power levels of redstone dots to be 16 different colors. Because redstone dots aren't used that often inside of redstone contraptions, it makes them perfect for retexturing and perfect for creating displays like this one.
Up here is where you can select what tool you want, what thickness you want, and what color you want.
My goodness. So the first thing that I wanted to do was fill in my canvas. Well, that's satisfying.
It's so satisfying.
That might just be one of the most satisfying things. And from there, I went on to create potentially the most horrific piece of artwork ever. It was meant to be a love heart with a smiley face on the inside. I don't know. I don't think you realize like how much you didn't have to go as above and beyond as you have done. Do you get what I mean? Because it's like most people would have been pretty satisfied with like the paintbrush and one thickness and then the colors. What motivated you to just keep going?
It kind of was just like, oh, these things would be nice to have. And then the list kind of grows as you work on the project.
Yeah. Now, obviously, at this point, the builds are so big, it's impossible to explain the entire thing. So I asked Matt for a few features that he could quickly explain.
Okay, the thickness changer was an idea from the beginning. We had an idea for a circuit that could use different signal strengths to naturally like spread out the signal more.
Is that almost like the Flappy Bird style pipe thing, or am I completely off the mark?
Yes.
Like maybe the fill tool, it would be interesting to know how that works.
Let's say you want to change his mouth to blue.
Yeah.
So it's what's called a recursive algorithm. It kind of calls on itself to continually do the same thing and spread out in a way. So we're going to start by placing a blue here.
Yep.
That's a given, no matter what the color is.
Yep.
But then it gets the current color in mind, and it looks at the 4 surrounding cells.
Yep.
And it tries to see if any of them are also red. If any of those 4 surrounding cells are red, it's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to set it to blue and check around those 4 neighbors to see if any of those are red.
Right.
So in this case, it would see that only this one is red, and we're going to repeat the process. Now we're going to check this neighbor, this neighbor. We're going to see that this one's red.
Yep.
So set it to blue. And yeah, you can see how this repeats and naturally goes out and fills anything that is red and connected to it.
So I have a few questions here. So number one, the red color is based purely on signal strength from that dot, right?
Yeah.
It knows the signal strength of the original pixel that it tried to fill. And then I guess is it then comparing signal strengths? Like, is it then like looking for that signal strength around it in redstone terms as opposed to color terms?
We call them signal strength comparators, so they will be able to tell whether the signal strengths are equal or not. So the first thing you do when you actually press the bucket tool is it puts whatever color is on the tool currently into some kind of memory.
Yeah, okay.
And then it uses that memory to compare to the neighbors as it does this recursive algorithm.
We've got a recursive algorithm of questions because every single time you give an answer, I then have like four more questions that come up. Like, I understand that theoretically. In terms of redstone,
you see how there's kind of one main redstone line here on every cell? When that gets activated, that means that the cell is being painted by the bucket tool. You'll also notice that there are 4 signals going to each of the 4 neighbors that are coming out from this main line. These are all attempting to spread to the 4 neighbors, and the only ones that are actually going to be allowed through are the ones that have the comparator unlocked. And that comparator is only unlocked if that signal strength that got saved from the beginning is the same.
That does make sense. Yeah. I never would have thought of it. I never would have been able to design anything. But that totally makes sense when you say it like that. Now, at this point, I thought things couldn't get any crazier. And then Matt took it about 3,000 levels higher. And that will be coming towards the end of this video. Before we get there, though, we're going to dial things back a little bit to my level. When I was speaking to Matt about the format for this video, he suggested that in the middle, we should have a little school for computational redstone where I would learn some lessons and then be given a project to complete, as he observes. Oh my goodness, I can't do anything with anyone watching me, let alone someone as smart as Matt. So I tried my best. Let the lessons begin.
Probably the first thing that a beginner should learn about is logic gates. Here, this is the NOT gate truth table. The column that says A is the input, and the column that says not A is the output.
Yep.
So what this means when you read this is if you put in a 0, or if the lamp is off, the output is 1, or the output is on. And the other way goes as well. If the input is 1, the output is 0.
Yep.
And so the easiest way to make that in Minecraft is a redstone torch. Mojang was nice enough to basically give us a NOT gate in 1 block.
Yep.
So not much to describe there. Then we have the OR gate, which follows a slightly bigger truth table because there are 2 inputs this time, A and B. And because there are 2 inputs, you have 4 different combinations. And the way the OR gate works is kind of how it's read. It's on if A or B are on.
Obviously, they're used all the time inside of redstone contraptions. A lot of the time, like a lot of this vocabulary probably doesn't get directly used. You just kind of end up with them in redstone contraptions. AND gates, they're more a specific logic gate. Like I'm normally pretty aware of when I've got an AND gate inside my build.
Yeah, AND gates are usually pretty purposeful, just like the name says. It's only on when A and B are on. You can see from the truth table.
I'm feeling good about this lesson so far. However, yeah, the old exclusive or maybe... Like, I understand obviously how they work. I cannot remember the last time I built one.
They're not really used in non-computational, but XOR gates are really nice. They give an output when you only have 1. If it's 0 and 1, that's an output. Or if it's 1 and 0, that's an output.
Yep.
But if it's 1 and 1, that is not an output. You can only have 1 at a time. To give people an idea of why logic gates are useful, as it turns out, they're kind of useful for everything. So not only do they make things like calculators and computers possible, they're really useful for small circuits with like games and stuff as well. So in this example, we have rock, paper, scissors.
Perfect.
This first circuit is to detect whenever there's a tie.
Yep, that makes sense.
All I have is an AND gate on every matching pair here.
That makes a lot of sense.
The other thing you can do is obviously a wind detection.
Yeah, this one I guess is a little bit more complicated, right? So I guess you've got AND gates, but they're linked between the things that would beat one another. If that makes any sense.
I tried saying that sentence earlier in a small way. There's no way to do it.
There's no way to say it in a way
just a long sentence
that makes sense.
If you have these 2 circuits already built, how would you detect for the right side winning?
You're detecting tie, and then you're detecting the left side winning. So then any other option means the right side is won.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank goodness for that.
One of the first builds that people try to make with logic gates is an adder. This is why logic gates are powerful, because even with just a few of them, you can start doing things like adding binary numbers together.
There's XORs, there's AND gates. I can recognize all of the gates.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure why they are sequenced in the way that they are.
The basic idea is to count how many ones you have in each column. Based on that, you either need to like give an output, or maybe you need to carry over, or maybe you need to give an output and carry over.
Right, okay.
So these logic gates are to figure out which case you're in. 1 plus 1. So we get a trigger on this AND gate here.
Yep.
Which is telling it to carry over to the next place, and it ends up going all the way out to the output. So the output is saying 0, 1, 0, and in binary that is 2.
Okay. That is the okay of a man who is starting to struggle to comprehend things. Maybe we take a look at encoders and decoders.
So this first circuit, it's just a combination lock.
This is like the old school lever combo lock, right?
So one of the basic components that get used all the time in Comp Redstone is called the decoder. All a decoder is it's just a bunch of combination locks for every possible combination of the bits.
Right, okay. Okay.
So right now it's 0, 0, 0, and we have a combination lock for that.
Oh,
if I put in 0, 0, 1, we get this one. No matter what combination I put in, there's a line to detect it. And that's why it's called a decoder, because it takes a 3-bit signal and it decodes which signal you're talking about here.
So this has never made more sense to me.
One example of what decoders are used for is screens, because with 2 decoders, you can detect for an X coordinate and a Y coordinate.
Yep, makes a lot of sense.
So here we have 2 3-bit numbers, one for X, one for Y. And so right now it's 0, 0, and that's why it's kind of in this bottom left corner.
Yep.
But if I, let's say make the Y coordinate 4, it'll jump up to the coordinate 0, 4. We're going to do, this is called an encoder. So it's kind of like a reverse combination lock.
Yep.
There's only one input, and it's just, when you turn it on, it shows you what the combination is.
Yep. That makes sense.
So you can customize what you want to show here. If you want it to show 0, 1, 1, you just put the repeaters here. You can encode it however you want. Stacking this out, you can have a bunch of different lines to encode all the different binary numbers.
I'm assuming this is like a binary encoder and then a binary decoder.
Yep, that's exactly right. So we can now send 7 signals over just 3 wires.
I mean, I can immediately see how that would be incredibly useful. This is so you called it an SR latch? And I'm going to stick with that.
Yep.
I'm going to stick with that for this, because I'm now a computational redstoner.
Comment below whether you're in the SR gang or the RS gang. We're going to start a civil war. In computer science language, this would be a data latch.
Right.
But it's just a repeater lock.
And then this one over here, it's just a little T flip-flop, right?
Pistonless T flip-flop.
I was going to say.
Because for some reason, people in Comp Redstone have a vendetta against pistons.
That's fair enough.
I say people like it's not also me. It's also me. I hate pistons. So this thing is a serial transmitter. So you can put in a code here, press this button, and it'll get sent to the other side with just 1 wire.
Let's say, would this be number 5?
Whatever you want.
Okay. What? Okay, now this has lost me a bit. I'm trying to. Oh no, this makes a. Wait, yeah. So we're using 2 tick pulses, and then of course that makes sense. And then as this comes in, this is an SR latch, which then unlocks all the repeaters until it turns off, and then it flicks back off, and then you've just basically stored. Yeah, okay, you've like stored where the redstone bits were powered from this line. That makes a lot of sense. That looked like witchcraft when I first did it.
That's what's so cool about this. Whenever I show people and they're not paying attention, or maybe they're just, it's like, wait, what just happened? What? The pattern just teleported.
Yeah. That took me a minute.
So I want you to put whatever image you want here, and then press that button when you're done.
Oh, okay. So this is almost like what we had there. Wow. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. So this is the same circuit, this is a similar circuit, but it's just laid out in a slightly different way. That's outrageously cool. Like, I can actually see use cases for this myself. So after that absolute speedy rundown, it is now time for the part I have been dreading. Matt has provided me with a handful of components and has asked me to create tic-tac-toe. Prepare yourselves for an absolute fumble fest. What I'll do is I'll run you through what our idea is, and you can tell me whether or not this is really silly.
That sounds perfect.
I'm going to clone each one of these modules 9 times over. So I'll have a 3x3 grid. I'm going to have to hook up a redstone circuit that detects when any of these buttons have been pressed, and that's going to trigger my T flip-flop, which will toggle between the naught and the cross. And then all I have to do is connect up each one of these buttons to the corresponding units, I think.
That sounds good to me.
Cool. Okay, and I don't need any wind detection or anything like that. That would be complicated. Okay, I've got my 3x3 grid. This is good. So I probably want like SR latches there and then a full reset circuit.
Yep. So you've realized you need memory for each cell. Some way to remember that there was a placement there.
Okay, so all of these need to be connected to the T flip-flop circuit. So that's all now connected up. Okay, cool. So then I need to detect when any of these buttons are pressed. Probably the best way to do that is, again, I would probably use observers personally. So then I need to fit an RS NOR latch in this gap here. That is possible with droppers. It just feels like it's not the redstone computer way.
It's totally up to you.
Shall I do it the way that I would do it, and then we can see what computational redstone looks like from my perspective? Yeah, so that's like my super, again, very Minecrafty redstone way of doing. It
is very nice. It's very small. Look at the middle row.
Oh no!
How did that even happen? What?
What? What? No.
I think you should keep it. It adds character.
No, I can't keep it like this. It's monstrous. That's because I was doing it and I was like, why do the bottom two match up height-wise, but then I keep having to do weird stuff for this top one, and I was like, that's so strange. They keep getting out of sync. Okay.
Yeah, what is that math? That shouldn't work. No, you gotta keep it.
I told you, I'm under pressure. All right, fine, it can stay. But I want it known that I don't want it to stay. This is entirely your fault that this is staying this way.
Okay, in an effort to save time, I'm going to tell you that this is the incorrect wire to wire. I'm going to let you figure out why it's wrong.
No, it is very wrong. Yeah, for goodness sake. That's actually kind of annoying because then you have to flip them over one another.
Yeah, you have to flip the left and right. The middle is fine to go to the middle, but the left and right need to swap. Where are you planning to have the observers?
This is the thing that I probably should be working out at this point in time. Do you know what I would probably do? Something like this.
Ooh. Wait, does that just work? Then the torch activates the note block?
It should do. Have I made myself look stupid? No.
Yeah, that works.
That works. It'll fire twice, but...
Okay, that's really nice, actually.
Cool. I will reset it, and I'm going to test the bottom row. That seems like the way to do things. This is a promising...
Nice.
This is a promising situation here.
Oh, look at how these O's look.
Oh no! Again, I just want it known. I want it known. I wanted to change this, alright? After a few initial problems of cross wires and things not being connected properly, this thing was now functional. I'll go in the middle.
Alright, full game.
Full game. This is all going to be functional now. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking good.
Let's go!
There we go. We tied.
Oh, I love it.
That's the best way to be, but that functioned perfectly, flawlessly first time, which is crazy.
Okay, now I see why you want it on your channel. The edits.
This was genuinely, when you suggested this, I must admit, I was flustered. And you might have been able to tell I was flustered because I couldn't really see how I was going to be able to do it. And I think for about the first 20 minutes, I was slightly panicking.
No, but you literally you worked through every single problem in a really nice manner. Great job. This was really good.
And just as I was starting to entertain the idea of taking on larger, more exciting computational redstone projects, we went into Matt's next world, and I will show you that in 1 second. But before we do, I think it's worth mentioning, Matt has a YouTube channel, Matt Batwings, and if you're into this computational redstone stuff and you want to see even more crazy builds, then it will be down in the description. Please do check it out. What like, okay. Okay, go ahead. You know what? You can do the talking on this one, because I don't even think there's any point in me saying anything at this point in time. Go ahead.
So this is a QR code generator. So there's a keyboard down here,
Right.
and you can basically type in whatever you want. When you press the button over here, it will literally generate a QR code, and then you can actually pull out your phone and scan it, and it will have that data in it. So, for example, if you type in a link like youtube.com or whatever, and then you generate the QR code and scan it with your phone, it'll take you to youtube.com.
What? I'm editing this video currently, and I am still absolutely flabbergasted.
Boom.
Okay, it has been sent. Like, it kind of looks like it's figuring things out, and I know that's probably not the case.
I mean, it definitely looks like that. Do you remember that serial display I showed you where you can send one to the other?
Okay. Oh, so this is just a big one of those. Big one of those.
It is, yeah.
How's this looking?
It's good. We're going to have to wait for the second half. It's looking pretty good. This looks good.
Okay, I'm going to get my phone camera out. Let's see. There's no way. If we covered some of this QR code, you would still be able to get to it.
Yeah, let's get the TNT out.
The tick rate is so high.
That scared me for a second.
That made me jump. Yeah. It still works! I'm sure there's a few people down in the comment section who aren't going to believe what is happening here. So please, if you're watching this on a computer, grab your phone, scan that QR code, and it will take you to youtube.com. But here's the crazy part. Matt wasn't even finished. He has 2 more builds that he wants to show me. Shall we have a game? I mean, I'm literally the worst Tetris player on the planet. Probably worse at Tetris than I am at Flappy Bird, and that was pretty painful.
Oh gosh.
Okay,
let's do it.
So I just stand in this gap here, hit the start game button, and then I can push myself onto the pressure plate to move the item over and jump through the tripwire to rotate it. But obviously this is a square, so you can't really see that. I kind of want to like put this one on top of the other one, even though that is a terrible placement. I'm aware of that.
Fair enough.
I just want to see like how these game mechanics work. How did you do it?
Logic. Dedicating 5 years of your life to just play Minecraft instead of getting a real job.
So you got the randomizer that generates the blocks. Fine. You've got things falling through a display that are landing on things again.
I'm decoding for where the piece should be, and then I'm decreasing the Y coordinate to make it fall.
Okay, so it's almost like what you spoke about earlier on, where you have the X and the Y coordinates, and you're gradually decreasing that Y value, and then you've got the rotation of the pieces.
This here is a big memory to store all the different rotation states, and it's color coded by how many you need for each piece.
Yep. Okay.
So you can see the yellow is the square here, and there's only one of them.
That makes sense. Yep.
I think the blue is the line, so there's 2. You get the idea.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then if you go down a little bit, there are basically what I like to call rotator circuits. They're just a line of repeaters that then feed back into themselves. And so these allow you to switch between different lines of memory.
Okay, so it's like a little counter.
Yeah,
in a way.
It's like a little rotating counter.
Yeah. Okay. What I like about these big complicated builds is they're made up of many smaller, less complicated builds. And although I'll never be able to build something like this, I'm really enjoying the insight. This is good. Okay, this is incredible. But oh my goodness, this expands a long way.
Yeah, this one is this is a big boy.
Yeah. Like I thought it was just all the stuff behind the display. This is stupid at this point.
This is a city.
Yeah. Like genuinely, how, out of curiosity, you know, like how much time is spent on something like this? I mean, you might not want to answer, and that is totally fine.
Well, if I remember right, this one took a month.
Wow. Now I'm going to spare you the pain of watching me be absolutely terrible at Pac-Man for a considerable length of time, but this game functions like Pac-Man. That's the only way that I can describe it. It doesn't feel like Pac-Man in Minecraft. It just feels like Pac-Man. And that is because Matt went through a ridiculous amount of effort to make it as authentic as possible.
The ghosts only think about one step into the future. Each ghost has a target tile, which is just a tile somewhere that it's trying to get to. It looks at the 4 steps it could possibly take around itself. It does some math to think, okay, which one gets me closest to the target tile?
Yep.
And it just picks that one. The way that they're unique is that they have different target tiles. So for example, the red one, his target tile is always just Pac-Man himself.
Yeah, okay.
So it's
that's
like
the lethal one.
very straightforward.
Yeah.
The pink one, their target tile is 4 tiles in front of Pac-Man.
Right. This is the thing about everything that you've said so far today is like all of it does make sense. But then actually implementing that, even programming it is kind of is complicated. But then programming it using redstone wires. I don't even know what I was thinking when I built this, but I do know what I was thinking after I built this. On a larger scale, with some dyed sheep instead of polar bears. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to press F5, try to ignore the sounds of the dying polar bear. Oh gosh, they're endangered as well. On a larger scale, with some dyed sheep, I could make the house from up. A house carried entirely by balloons. So that is what we're going to be making today. So I think in terms of building this thing, it's probably best that I build the slime block flying machines and kind of attach the exterior to the outside. I think this is actually going to be a bit of a challenging redstone build because I really want this house to look good. I want it to look complete, and I kind of don't want it to look like a slime block flying machine, which is kind of hard. Slime block flying machines kind of always look like slime block flying machines. Okay, I need to make like a solid footprint to start from here. Gosh, I am concerned. Right, in the middle here, we've got our motor. This little 2x4 thing. This is the thing that is actually causing our flying machine to fly. This is the movement engine, and then everything coming off the sides here. These are all the attachments. And this is what I'm hoping to move the exterior of the house with. Something like this could do the trick. Oh, except I actually might want to do something like this to keep everything in sync and also split everything up into 3 block chunks so that we don't run into piston push limit problems. The corners are still going to be a huge challenge. Regardless, my plan of action is for the outside of this thing to have a bunch of sticky pistons that pull blocks up, and then this is where the outside of the house is going to be attached. So we should be able to have a solid edge to the house and also achieve the flat bottom of the house with nothing protruding underneath, which I think is very important to the effect. I want it to look like this house is being pulled upwards by the balloons, not being pushed up by a slime block flying machine with some balloons on top. And before you ask me, no, I don't have any idea what I'm going to do for the roof yet, and I don't want to talk about it. Ah, yes. The house from up, just as I remember it. It is time for the first test of our redstone system. If I've done everything correctly, when I place in this button, more than that probably should have happened. Okay, I've surpassed the piston push limit over here, but I think it is fixable. Over here, that is a surprise. We're up to 13, but I think I can actually fix it. Yes. And it does work, but we have surpassed the push limit in, wow, a lot of areas. Just, you know, complete failure is just part of the process of building slime block flying machines. So let's do test number 2. I have pretty high hopes on this one. It moved a single block. Actually reckon that that's going to be that observer there. Let's see. Yep, it is working. Oh, strange. Our strange oval is now flying out into the sky. And you know what? If you look at it dead straight on, it doesn't really look like a flying machine. Other than this stuff. Ignore this stuff. We have some serious details to work out. If we could achieve something like this, oh my goodness, I would be so happy. With color and with detail and with everything looking correct, I genuinely think this could look awesome. I've been fiddling around. This is as close as I've managed to get so far. I believe this should fly. We have one exposed block, but you know, I've tried my best to conceal it with a little trapdoor. More importantly, though, I do have a gigantic gap here, which is, let's be real, that is a bit of an issue. I'm half joking, but I'm also half not joking. I could just place a trapdoor here and then stack a bunch of boats. I'm kind of lucky that there's like a bunch of guttering down the side of the house if we look at the reference image. So, like, if I just chuck a bunch of acacia boats down here... God, this is bootleg even by my standards. Before we get into all of that, let's see if this thing actually flies. If I'm honest, I don't have the highest of hopes. I haven't really been keeping up with piston push limits. Oh, we are close. We are actually not far off. So, there's a big chunk that is missing, which makes sense. And then all of this edge as well. Otherwise, though, everything is in sync. everything is flying together and it looks like one solid thing. I've done a bit more tweaking. Hopefully it's now working. I'm also trying the boat wall, which, shoot me, I think it looks good. And yes. Okay, this thing is flying as one solid thing. Excellent news! It's time to do some decorating. Say hello to Carl Friedrichsen, and say hello to Carl Friedrichsen's house. This thing is absolutely adorable. Before you all start panicking, yes, I'm aware that we have no roof currently. I still don't want to talk about it. I also just realized that this thing wouldn't fly, so I've had to make some changes. I so want just a single fence post here, but it puts us over the block push limit. I'm trying to find any way that we can do this. I mean, what if I push an armor stand into the wall, does that kind of look like... It kind of looks a little bit more structural. I am seriously committing to this aesthetic. All right, that no longer looks like an armor stand. It now just looks structural. I think we're in a place to test this thing. And by Jove, am I nervous? Yes. 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 And now we do the thing that I haven't wanted to talk about. Right. I've laid out what I'm going to refer to as the dream situation. This is sort of the perfect setup for this little house. I do not know how I'm going to do it. I mean, I have come up with a sort of idea, and it works fairly similarly to how I did the bottom section. I don't know if it's going to work. So each line of the roof is an independent slice, and we are going to pull up sticky pistons, which will then retract that part of the roof. The only concern is this is going to happen at the same time as the bottom section, which means this bottom bit could try and pull up as this roof is being pulled up, and they will probably crash into one another. Yeah, you're right, Minecraft. This is a sticky situation. Ooh, I'm feeling weirdly confident. I am feeling weirdly confident. I don't know if this confidence is misguided, but I think this might actually work. As long as I take a leaf from a fellow hermit's book, I won't name them, by potentially not doing the back. Let's see if this thing actually functions. I cannot tell you how outrageously nervous I am. That doesn't look good. Oh, I mean, on the scale of things, that's about as bad as it gets, right? Oh, I have some hope. So I accidentally misfired some of the pistons, and there were grass blocks attached to the bottom of these slime blocks, which could have put them over the push limit. Almost definitely would have done. Please, 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 please. Oh my goodness, no. Let's work out what's happening by tick freezing. All looks okay here. This here isn't being picked up. Is it over the push limit? Oh, it was way over. Okay. Half the house is moving. The roof is working. So that's kind of cool. Oh no, man. Found the problem. Found the problem. This observer is being carried off by this. No longer powering this piston. Breaks all the sinkage. That literally just needs to be moved to there and we should be golden. Oh no, that observer's being carried off. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh my goodness. It actually works. It is time to summon some woolly balloons. So I've got our boat, and I've got a special spawn egg that should spawn levitating sheep. So now all I have to do is spawn a bunch of these guys and start attaching them to our house. I kind of think we need varying heights of balloons, so hopefully this boat here will add yet another tier. Oh my goodness, yes! I can actually put a boat on top of the chimney, and it kind of looks like the top of a chimney stack, but I can also put a bunch of sheep coming out of there. My frame rate is dropping ever so slightly. I'm starting to think that maybe all of these leash mechanics are a little bit more resource intensive than I first imagined. There are a lot of physics simulations going on right now. It is time to take flight. This might be the most adorable thing I've ever made. Like, genuinely, if this wasn't a flying machine, I would still be happy with it. But the fact that this thing is about to take off into the sunset makes me incredibly happy. Carl Fredrickson, are you ready to live your dream? I'm going to try my best to find some form of music that sounds like the Up music that isn't going to get me a billion copyright strikes. If I'm successful, it should start playing now. I'm outrageously and unbelievably excited. We have liftoff in 3, 2, 1, go. There it is. we have got the house from up. And you know what? It retains its shape so well. It still looks like a solid house. It still looks like a solid build. And most importantly, it looks like it's being carried by the balloons. The balloons being sheep that are levitating, attached to leads, attached to boats. That might be a new sentence, to be honest with you. Oh my goodness, I am so happy with this. Some of them are big fans. I was reading through the comments of my fan video, and it seems like a lot of you were blown away by these creations, which means they're working better than I expected. But as soon as I finished recording, I was thinking of other animated redstone builds that I could work on, and gears came to mind. Cogs. Big mechanical bits and bobs. And just as a word of warning, this is going to be significantly more challenging than the fans. Okay, I have like a few ideas of kind of how I could do this. So obviously I can make something that has actual motion. It's actually turning around in the form of like a piston feed tape, but that isn't ideal for a number of reasons, and I'll get onto those in a little bit. There is another way that I could do it, which is almost by creating the illusion of motion. This was my first idea. So I have a cogwheel that looks like it has teeth, and then I can close and open trapdoors behind the stairs to look like things are moving along. I think the redstone to do this should be quite simple because we just alternate the powering of each of them. I think this should be all of the redstone linked up for all of our different trapdoors. Now I've reworked things slightly just so if I power this block in the middle, it should power the entire thing. And it sounds like everything should be synchronized. So if I now hook this up to a redstone clock, we should have a working system. That kind of works. The bottom doesn't, but now it all should. And you know what? As a start, for the outside of the gear, this isn't terrible, but we definitely need some bits rotating on the inside as well. We just need this. But how on earth am I going to get that to fit in the middle? I mean, we don't have any space already. Time to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Oh, not quite yet, because I think I've come up with a potential idea, sort of. Can you maybe see where I'm going with this? I've got one of the trapdoors working. This definitely isn't going to be perfect, but one could argue that was perfect in his own special way. Ooh, this might actually look cool. I'm going to make a second one and put a belt between them to give a full show off. It is time for me to reveal Mumbo Gears number 1. Here we go. Okay, so we've got 2 cogs. And they're kind of spinning around, and they're spinning this belt. I've put some decorative bits in the middle. Honestly, I've found with this build that the more you cover up, the better it looks. A bit like the fans, actually. Like, when I started adding all of the iron grates in the middle, it sort of covers up some of the slight jankiness. And I will say these cogs kind of only look good from one angle, because as soon as you move off to the side, I think some of the illusion of motion is slightly lost. And by slightly, I mean totally. Oh, I couldn't help myself. I've done some extra building bits, and I genuinely think this extra belt here has done the work. This now looks super cool. Yes, yeah, I'm a fan. Wait, no. So with our first success in the bag, it's time to check out a few other techniques. I think I have an idea of a way that I can utilize this, and also utilize some of this. First things first, I'm literally just going to copy that fan design, but unlike the fan design, I'm actually going to have to make it so that none of the outside blocks get powered. You see over here, this block is being powered. I don't want that. So instead, I'm actually going to use locking repeaters. I cannot remember the last time I used locking repeaters. I don't even know if this is going to work. Oh my goodness. It actually does seem to be working. Okay, so I can turn this thing on and off, and when I turn it on, yeah, I mean, you can see how the fan is going to be functioning. There we go. It is spinning. It's spinning in the wrong direction, but I don't care. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I've managed to make a really, really small fan design here, and I've managed to fit it inside of a sort of cog configuration. It's the same size as our original cog, but it does have some slight differences. I'm hoping it should be easier to do and also easier to run faster, because I'm going to be using powdered snow. I've just realized the inside of our thing is going to be spinning pretty fast. I don't think there's any way that I can do this that will match up with this velocity. I'm just going to do the messiest redstone ever to see if this actually functions. So I need to alternate between powdered snow that's been dispensed and powdered snow that hasn't been dispensed yet. So this is what it looks like when it's switched off. And now no. The speed is a big problem. It's a huge problem. They look completely detached from one another. They don't even look like they're completely separate things. So it's time for me to try something radical. I am just going to attach the snow dispensers to a really fast redstone clock. Okay, that's maybe a little bit better. And then if I turn the fans on, it's still too slow. It is still too slow. But it's maybe marginally, potentially a little bit better. It's time to speed things up even more. I think that's as good as we're gonna get. And you know what? It's not too bad. It's still just, it's just a tiny bit too slow. I thought it would get better the further away I am from it, but honestly, no. It's actually amplified the problem. And little did I know, many hours of headaches would follow this. I came up with a new way of slowing down the middle of our cog by using crafters, sending iron blocks and iron ingots between one another. Had to change all sorts of bits with the update order and things, and to be honest, it looks completely pants. It's so bad. And then I was like, why not ditch the 2 spokes and have 4 spokes instead? Then I can just alternate the trapdoors, but it doesn't even look like it's moving. It just looks like it's flickering back and forth. So I tried covering up the middle, and I hate the fact that it looks so much better. This is actually quite nice. So I took that idea and thought, I wonder if I can simplify it. So I made this incredibly compact little contraption that is sending observer signals around. It's significantly faster and significantly noisier, but it works in a really, really fun way. And the cool thing is it can be expanded to be as big as we like, and also I can power some trapdoors in the middle, which with the use of tinted glass and things, I think make for quite a good setup. But surprisingly, I still wasn't finished. I was editing the video and came up with a new idea. Look, I've had to build a giant spoiler wall so you don't see all the stuff that I'm working on later on. But look at this. This is pretty good, right? It combines the ones that I just showed you with the multiple pulses going around in a circle with the observers with the central 3x3 fan. And I genuinely think this might be the best small cog. And you will never see it again in this video because I made it after the video was finished. So now that we have a variety of different cog speeds, let's try out some different methods. All of the cogs that we've made so far imitate movement, but what if we actually want to create movement? A cog that is actually turning. For that, we're going to need to use piston feed tapes. So this is what the outside of our cog will look like, and then we will have pistons pushing around the blocks. However, I think we can actually move the pistons back. I kind of don't want them to be visible, or at least I don't want them to be in line with the bits of the cog, and I think I can pull this off by making use of slime blocks and honey blocks. It does limit the size of the cog. In fact, this is the biggest possible cog we can do due to piston push limits, but I think this is more than enough. So the pistons will push the slime blocks and honey blocks instead of the blocks themselves, and that allows us to keep all the redstone behind a wall. Now, the only thing with piston feed tapes is that 2 sections have to move at one time, and then the other 2 sections have to move at one time. You can't move everything all at once, so I'm going to try my best to do everything as quickly as possible using 0 ticks. And after a lot of tick freezing and tick stepping, I think I've got a circuit all worked out. So if I now hook this up to a redstone clock, this should all be firing in the correct order. It is looking good. Now I'm going to fill in all of these blocks and do the first test. Okay, this is good. So now let's do some decorating. Now, here's the thing. I can't just put like a line of stairs going along like this, like we've done with all of the other ones, because as soon as they go into this section, they won't rotate. There's no magic going on here, so they will just look like that, which is fine. Oh wow, I'm stupid. But when they get to the top, they will look like this, and that's no good. So instead of that, is there some kind of pattern that I can do that will work regardless? Like maybe I could do something like this? That kind of still has like a tooth coggy style. Or maybe I could put something like cauldrons into the mix? Does that kind of make sense? This is starting to kind of look a little bit like a water wheel, and I am pretty on board with that. Wait, just to double check, lodestones are immovable, yeah. 3, 2, 1, activates. Okay, this kind of looks pretty cool. Oh, it did until I broke it. I hate myself. I was trying my best to cover up the corners while it was still running with trapdoors, and I placed a block in the piston feed tape. And it's put everything out of sync. Okay, I gotta say, this does look a lot cooler than I expected it to. The main issue that I was scared of was the out of syncness, the fact that you get the two sections, but I think with the 0 ticks, they are close enough that it does still feel like sort of one unified rotating thing. However, I do still maintain that I think this looks more like a cog. But with that being said, I have a sort of plan to make this look way cooler. If we made it look like we're somehow generating energy out of this stagnant pond, now we're talking. Now we are talking, especially if I fill up all of these cauldrons. Oh, I might be able to add a little extra detail in here. If I can get a little water particle effect going, I think we are so onto a winner. Got a bunch of different colors in here. Hopefully this is enough. I mean, how's that looking? I kind of think this is working. This probably... I think they need to get a little bit more out of sync with one another. That's a little bit more like it. Come on, this is cool. Okay, this is really, really cool. If this river was running and you had like a waterfall or something upstream, so it actually looked like it could move this water wheel, I can 100% imagine this being part of a really nice looking build. I think I've come up with an idea that I want to try out quickly. Okay, I can see the vision. I can see the vision, but I don't know if it's doing what I thought it was gonna do. Okay, I think I've done enough experimentation. Now it's time to combine a bunch of cogs into one big build. I feel like gears on their own look kind of strange, but when you start combining them and adding pulleys and systems and bits together, it will create something magnificent. So my goal is to make a little water wheel, which powers a big cog that then uses a gear ratio to speed up a smaller cog, which we then attach to a belt that spins a fan. So let's get to work on building. Part 1 is completed, and already my plan has changed a little bit. I've added these 2 small cogs just because I really like them. Now, the next thing that I want to do is have a chain around this cog driving another cog of the same size here, but because the chain goes around the outside of this cog and then goes around the inside of this cog, it should increase the speed. And I know this chain setup is a little bit crazy. I'm doing the best with what I've got. I've tried to add in some chain tensioners here, and I think it just about works. Might have to trust the process just a little bit on this one. I'm trying my best to make sure that this is accurate. I'm making sure that all of the cogs that are facing in the correct direction and going the right way. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having far too much fun doing this. Okay, this is looking cool. Okay, now we need our big cog, which I'm going to try my best to look like is touching this one. And because this fan is going anti-clockwise, then our big cog is going to go clockwise, which is good because the belt from the big cog is going to be spinning this fan. I'll be totally honest, I have not quite worked out if what I'm trying to do here is entirely possible, but I'm going to commit to it regardless. This does look pretty cool, and I can probably fit like a fan in the middle, which will hopefully make it look like it's spinning even more. By the way, I think this is actually possible. Look, we've got circling pulses and they are not conflicting with this cog here, and they do just about, with some imagination, look like they're touching. I've updated some of the timings, and look at this thing go. We've got a single tooth in our cog, but it looks right. Now, I'm hoping I should be able to power this in exactly the same way as I've done with the smaller cog, just with a lot more pulses. And I guess we're about to find out if that actually works. Oh my goodness, it does. Oh my goodness, that actually looks good. This is actually functioning. Okay, now that I've established that actually works, I'm going to destroy the wiring for a bit, and I'm going to put a 5x5 fan in the middle that is going to look like the blades of like the cogwheel. And you just find Minecraft is such an incredibly peaceful game. Like, it's just such a relaxing, calm experience to play this. I'm not gonna lie, I think this might be the best cog I've made so far. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Come on now. Come on now. So now let's add the last big fan at the decoration, and then everything's complete. Oh my goodness. This is my first time coming back and actually looking at it in the full wide setup. This might... I don't even want to say it, because everyone laughs at the fact that I say it, but I think it's justified in this case. This might be the coolest thing I've ever made. This is... I want this to be my desktop background. Like, genuinely, I want to look at this all the time. I've never been so satisfied in my entire life. My only extremely minor gripe is the fact that you can't see the particle effects of the arrows until you get closer, but when you do get closer, look at that nice little surprise. Yeah, this is outrageously cool. This is outrageously satisfying. All of the different cogs work really, really well. I love this. And then we've got the different pacing of the cogs, and we've got the fast cogs, and we've got the big cogs with the rotating centers. That is doing so much work. Like, that gives a feel for what direction the cogs are spinning in, and then, of course, the belts with the fan. I mean, I will never not love the fan. Oh, and if you're curious what this monstrosity looks like, in fact, I was at the Minecraft movie premiere this weekend, speaking to all sorts of really interesting people, doing all sorts of interesting things, and all I could think about was cogs. It's becoming a problem. A problem that we're not going to be solving today because I'm going to be building more of them. Now, this video is massively inspired by Alien12, the first video on their channel. They've got one video, it's all about animated gears. They actually released it just before I made my one, but unfortunately I didn't see it until after I uploaded mine, but they've got a bunch of awesome ways to make various different cogs, and I'll be playing around with some of those ideas in this video. Let's build a giant cog. So I made this design in the previous video using a piston feed tape, but the thing that I don't like is the segmented moving. But I can fix that by using 4 piston feed tapes, 1 piston feed tape for each one of the sections. If they all move in sync, it will look like one unified cog. And as you can see, I've started planning these things out. So these blocks will spin, and then these blocks will spin, these blocks will spin, and these blocks will spin. The first of our 4 piston feed tapes should now be working, and yeah, already that's looking really, really cool. Oh no, I've broken everything. But now everything is fixed. And I gotta say, I really like these simply because I can actually tell which way they're spinning. I think with the trapdoors and like the flickering, sometimes, depending on how I look at it, it could either be spinning anti-clockwise or clockwise. With these ones, it's pretty obvious which direction the cogs are going, and they look good. They look really good. And redstone-wise, they're not too bad. There's, what, 5 blocks out the back? I mean, they're a little bit more involved in terms of wiring, but it's not too bad. This genuinely is simple, I promise. But yeah, if I compare this to this is significantly better. Imagining this as a water wheel, oh my goodness. It's time to combine my biggest cog with my biggest fan. Combining the cogs with the fans was something I came up with at the very end of the last video, and it worked incredibly well. So much so that after I finished recording, I then went back to the small cogs and created this, which I still think is probably the best one, but now it's time to make something giant. First stage of the process was to rebuild this thing with different colors, and I gotta say, I absolutely love this. This is ridiculously cool. So now I need to start working out the cog teeth that are going to go around this thing. Gosh, this is more difficult than I was expecting. Everything I do is horrifically ugly. But now I've reached a point where I think it's not horrifically ugly. There's some kind of funky bits on the corners, but I'd say it's okay. Now it's time for all of the trapdoors. And now I have to work out a way to power all of these trapdoors, and I'm going to use a method that I saw down in the comment section. In my previous video, I had the trapdoors opening and closing in an alternating fashion, which works. However, the cog could be going in either direction, but if I slow down the pulses a little bit, it means there's a gap of 2 blocks between each one of the teeth, and then it becomes more obvious which direction the cog is going. I've done it over here, and you can see, at least I think I can see, that it works. The only way that I can visualize this cog turning is in this direction. I genuinely think this is going to be super easy. The beauty of some redstone builds is the bigger they get, the easier they get. So I've got our trapdoor loop all sorted. You can see our little trapdoor making its way around here. So now I just need to do all the pulses, which are all handled by this rather strange circuit back here. You can see the pulses being sent into the loop. And now we have ourselves one gigantic cog. And yes, it is pretty obvious which direction this is going. With the fan in the middle and then this stuff going around the outside, we've got a working cog. Yes, this is good. Oh my goodness, from a distance it looks so good. From a distance it looks so good. Oh, from a distance they look so bad. What the heck, guys? Okay, this is perfect. 10 out of 10 cog. Now it's time to make a small, slow-moving cog. You see, funnily enough, it's easy to make cogs that move quickly because you can just send pulses through observers. To slow things down, you can't use observers anymore. You have to do something else. And that's something else I haven't worked out yet. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've just thought of something. Oh, and it's not this. This was a stupid idea. I could use redstone dust and repeaters that I adjust the timings of. Now I know what you're thinking. Surely that's the first thing that you thought of. Well, here's the problem. The year is 2025 and we don't really do that anymore. And it means that it just doesn't come to mind. That's so embarrassing. Wow, this isn't actually going to be as simple as I thought it might be. I've created something horrendously ugly, but it does all appear to be working for this bottom section. Is this working? I think this is working. I think this will make more sense once the stairs are in. It ended up being a bit big and ugly, but I think more people understand how this works than understand how this works. So that's a positive. But now that it's all cogged up, it just kind of feels like there's a bunch of teeth missing, right? Like, it definitely has motion. I can definitely tell which direction this one is spinning. That is amazing. But for a cog this small, I don't think it's quite working. But the good news is, this isn't my fault because people in the comments suggested this. So you can blame them for this toothless mess. But I guess I should probably have a go at making it slightly bigger. And with larger size, it comes larger ugliness. This is horrific, but it is a tiny bit more convincing as an actual working slow cog. You can see everything is working properly. Our teeth are going around anti-clockwise. It's obvious which direction it's going. I kind of like this. So people from the comment section, we'll call it a draw. Now it's time to briefly leave the cogs behind and work on some animated chains. You see, the thing that really ties all of these cogs together, come on, that's my first cog-based pun. There's not many of them. Fans were so much easier. The thing that really ties these things together are the belts and the chains and things. And I think I have an idea of how I could animate a situation like this one. And I'm going to do it on the Mega Cog because the Mega Cog is cool. Oh, actually, just as a fun side note though, look how awesome this looks while it's switched off. Even when it's switched off, it looks great. I would say fence gates look very chain-like. The only thing is, obviously, wrapping them around the edge of our cogs. I mean, yeah, I actually think on a large scale that does work. I do also wonder if we should add the tiniest droop to this. I mean, how does this look? I will admit having two cogs exactly the same size connected by a chain, I think is the thing that's throwing me off here, but I do like what I'm seeing. Now I'm just going to get to work on adding in what I think should be ridiculously simple redstone. All I'm going to do is take an output from our cog and send pulses down the chain as well, which means that some of these fence gates should open in sync with the teeth of the cog, and it will look like this is going around. The only places that I won't be doing it are on the outside edges, or at least I'm not going to do it at the start. We'll see how it looks without them at the beginning. I do have ideas on how to do it if it looks absolutely horrendous. I'm also mentally preparing for how loud this thing is going to be. I don't think I could make a more noisy redstone system if I tried. Okay, let's switch on cog number 1, and then let's switch on cog number 2. Okay, our fences are moving, the cogs are moving, and that looks so good! Oh my goodness. Okay, we definitely need to do the sides. We definitely need to do the sides. What on earth, though? This is so cool. What the heck? What? My plan for the sides is just to put some observers coming off the edges. I hope you can hear me right now. I can't believe I ever thought I wouldn't animate the sides. Now that the sides are animated, that has tied everything together. This is... Okay. Okay, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I do think this is one of the coolest things I've made in a long time. But there is a bit of a problem. You know, earlier on I spoke about how cool this thing looks when it's switched off. It does look incredibly cool, but it does not look like a cog. And you see, I have had an idea. I would like to make a mechanical piston door. A piston door that when you open it, it opens incredibly slowly, but you see a bunch of cogs and chains and things turn. The problem is that while those things are off, it doesn't look like it's mechanical. So I need to think of some way that I can power some of these trapdoors to leave our cog arms in the center in a stationary position, which seems easy, but I don't think it's going to be. Wait, if I throw a wind charge at a trapdoor, does it stay? It stays. It toggles. I mean, it's a bit of a janky solution, but this could actually work. So hang on. If we switch this thing off, and then I just fire a wind charge like here, and here, Oh my goodness. That's good enough for me. So plan of action, if I put, say I put a dispenser right here, and then it had a bunch of wind charges in it that would hit this iron bar. I'm hoping it will hit this iron bar. What will happen? Yes! That is such good news. And I have a direct line to be able to power this block here next to our dispenser. So that means we can just activate that on the falling edge and it'll be done. I just need another one of those mirrored up on this side with the same gap. We've got a wind charge in there. Oh, we just got lucky on the first shot. No, okay. I need to think of something with a large hitbox to visual ratio. I mean, I guess glass? Would it be really weird to have glass blocks? They do look weird. I know I could use barrier blocks, but I genuinely want to build this stuff on the Hermitcraft server in survival, so I'm not going to have access to barrier blocks. I guess I have chosen the most visual type of glass. I suppose... Oh, yeah, that's pretty perfect. You know what, team? I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty proud of myself on this one. It's not that often that I think I come up with a truly unique solution to a problem. But this is a truly unique problem. And it requires truly unique solutions. Absolutely chuffed to have got that working. Now it's time to work on my dream build. Prepare for the first ever fully mechanical Minecraft piston door. And oh my goodness, that took me about 4 or 5 hours. That was unexpected, but it is now all up and running. And I've got to say, I'm incredibly happy with it. I really tried my best to get into the mindset of how this thing would actually function. So I've got a little engine down at the bottom here, which we kick into gear. That activates this massive cog, which then spins up this smaller cog at a high speed. We then have a number of belts and pulleys that gradually lower a weight that then allows us to lift up the door. And we also have some flywheel action. There's some clutches being engaged. It's a lot. So here we go. I'm hitting the button. This is how it has come together. So there is the machine kicking into action. Our chain is moving. The weight is being dropped. Flywheel being activated. And our door is being lifted. I mean, this whole thing is completely ridiculous. Now, it keeps running for a little while. Then eventually it will come to a stop. And our little weight gets lifted back up. And that drops our door back down to the ground. I mean, I'm going to quickly run through all of the issues that I had. I wanted the door to open slowly, so you can see I've had to use a really weird sort of flying machine. These things are odd. I had loads of problems with all of the timings and when things should activate, and I was really struggling with this weight system. It looked quite strange and disconnected from the door, and it was only when I added in this cog up at the top here that it all came together and I was finally satisfied. Look at this horrendous mess. It's disgusting. This build has definitely confirmed to me something that I always kind of suspected, that these sorts of redstone contraptions are much easier as passive decoration. These are things that you can activate once and then leave running. As soon as you have to start interacting with them and you want them to respond to certain things, it just gets exponentially harder to construct. But with that being said, because of the difficulty,